vessel for infidelity. It ain't built like me. If you make it heavy, need it built like me or either. Keep the business behind his books like me, I got 100 problems. Good brain, I'm a son with a sky. Good grade, I'm a green with a wicked. If I take a shot and bring it in the place, shot from my heart, show me how to get it. Gotta make sure my brother's the eating on his plate. If she throw that at me, I'ma hit it. Being Griffin, but she gon' get up to me, young, friends bad too, then come with you. And we like, what they on, we don't like gold diggers. Girl, prove it. I know you thought we had something special, but you don't mean that to me. Girl, tell me you got no more for me.
As I hit the kill switch, now that's how you let the beat feel, beat feel. That's how you let the beat feel, beat feel. That's how you let the beat feel, beat feel. Let the beat feel, beat feel. Beat go boom, boom, boom. It go boom, boom, boom. The beat go boom, 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 boom. Like everybody say, yeah, Yeah, and we'll eat you alive. They're gonna, yeah, I'm getting it. It's like a bunch of playing like a steel ram on the phone lamb on the man and a dog truck can. You ain't no social ain't supposed to the same hair neck like that. Kill man, kill man. You ain't no people like you live, so kill man, kill man. You know my food, that's my plan. Oh goddamn, that's my sound. Oh, play like that's my band. Gotta get clear. So right, quick, realistic, and nothing smear. And I got a lot of tattoos, and I mean every tear. Can we still know that cheese? Back to the beat, to the beat. I you let the beat feel, beat feel. Let the beat feel, beat feel. Let the beat feel, listen. And the beat goes boom, boom, boom. It goes boom, boom, boom. The beat goes boom, boom, boom. Now everybody say, yeah. And the beat goes boom, boom, boom. It goes boom, boom, boom. The beat goes boom, boom, boom. Let's see.
Coming live from the VIP, heard the nightlife, cross night with that new home. Bed in space, by three, the whole city got this, heard he got three, that other rapper got a hit, but shout he pat out. City on fire, soon as he got three, the king back now. Round don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, still skin naked before I sat down. Still bomb, the money stacked all the shack now. Still push the button, the message before the back down. I'm on the road doing shows, doing back down. Mississippi to Philly, I'm the first to the check town. Got the crowd yelling. Hey, I'm a hot girl yelling. Hey, all the dope boys yelling. Hey, the backstage yelling. Hey, I know that's the year what I'm talking about. Hood and this, the guy rich and I'm still in the hood with the click. You back from that flow, I was moving the brick. Talk about shooting at, now I'm doing the trick. Look at hit you in the face, you want to sue me quick. If you catch another case, I know it's true to be missed. So I'm keep cool there, say I had a new deadline. The show is up about the bedtime. I'm a hell of a time. I got the slow down, hard time to live the shine. I got some time, they ain't got like you do. We got a flow down the line, show better than mine. I got a pack out yelling. Hey, I'm a hot girl yelling. Hey, all the dope boys yelling. Hey, on the backstage yelling. Hey, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. You wanna beat me? Big boys, you know you.
1, 2, testing 1, 2.
Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce that if you're on the east side of the stadium, the Hooker sideline, your bathrooms are located on the back end of the field house or to the porta potties near the tiers. The home side, Crescent side, the bathrooms are on the back end of the press box along with the concession stand. Thank you.
Stop blowing my buzz, quit killing me. So buy another round. They try to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this. We still in this. We still in this. We still in this. Yeah, it's very high loud. It's my another round. They try to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this. I got 8 wheels on my ride, spit by 6 meters on my ride. Can't be swerving all of your side of town. No, kill my eye, blow my eye, then blow my eye. I'm so paid, I'm so fly, your baby daddy, dear respect me, black it out. Then no lie, I'm on my 12, blowing circles in the air. But that purple, I'm a boss and you a worker. Listen here, boy, don't make me hurt you. You want trouble, I got plenty. How you want it? Put it in me. I'm so rich, I'm on that. What you kick it, don't offend me. Don't get stopping in me. I spend meals on this shit. Boy, it's been 11 years of this shit. Look at me now, still in there. I stand tall, no care fall. You thinking that you can't touch G. See me, don't speak, ain't that G. I'm in my zone, don't keep on me. I'm in my zone, I'm feeling that. Stop blowing my buzz, quit killing that. So buy another round. They try to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this. We still in this. We still in this. We still in this. We just turn it loud. Buy another round. They try to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this. Jake stay in the club. Me and all these bad, all these free love. Try to run about so many women. One of these might be your wife. She looking forward to that ballin', so tonight might be her night. You know me, I stay stuck, but we are through tuition at night. Spend money fast like St. Richard, I speak E-Bank. Got a new car, I pay cash, got a new grill with a roof black. Chris, baby, I need that. Yo, tell me the free sale. 100 deep in VIP, always late. I came in with a bunch of booze and I'm leaving out this late. I got your boo in my boo, got she about to swallow my baby. My sister loud, my weed loud, no hard clip is unfazed. I'm in my zone, I'm feeling that. Stop blowing my buzz, quit killing that. So buy another round. They try to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this. We still in this. We still in this. We still in this. We just turn it loud. Buy another round. They try to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this.
Hello and welcome to Alva, Oklahoma, here on Northwestern Oklahoma State University campus. It is Ranger Field and it is Class A semifinal action here as the Crescent Tigers have made their way to Alva, Oklahoma, 13-0, trying to get to the state championship game next week. They take on the Hooker Bulldogs, 12-1 on the year. Joined once again here by Phil Nichols and Casey Porter. Up in the booth is Kel Evans and Craig Fleck. Well, state semifinal action, this is what you play for. The right to go to the state championship game. Crescent Tigers trying to get there for the 5th time in school history.
Yeah, you know, Phil says it all the time. When you get to this stage in the game, there are no bad teams, there are no bad players, there are no bad coaches. So every play, every game obviously is going to be a big-time struggle. When you look at the opponent tonight for Crescent, Hooker, you look at them offensively, very impressive. They have a big quarterback, Yarborough, that'll go about 6 foot, about 215, 220. They got a couple of running backs that'll handle the load back there. A big 6'4" receiver in Dawson Metcalf, and they have scheme, much like Rejoice Christian, that'll go anywhere from 0 personnel to 32 personnel, where they can run power football or spread football. Defensively, it's an old school defense for Hooker. It's old 5-3, if you remember the old 5-3 bandit, a 50 front, 5 men up front, and then they'll what's called eagle one of those tackles to where they'll put them on a guard instead of a tackle. So I think you're going to see Crescent attack that side with the 3 linebackers behind it. And then I'm getting to the point to where is the most important part of it. There's straight man coverage on the back end. I mean, they are straight man coverage. You'll see it all night long when Crescent goes in motion. They will follow the motion guys because they are a straight man team. I don't think that's a good formula to try to stop this Crescent offense, but we'll see how it works out.
This is the Golden Age Crescent Tiger kickoff show here from Alva, Oklahoma. And now let's talk about the Crescent Tigers, Phil. In their 3 playoff games, averaging 69 points a contest. Can Hooker stop this Crescent offense? Because I think Hooker is going to have to score 40, 45 points to have a chance to win tonight.
Yeah, I think they're going to score more than that. I don't see any reason to believe that there's anybody left in the playoffs that can shut Crescent down. I think the only team that can beat Crescent is Crescent. And Crescent's going to have to put the ball on the ground 4 or 5 times, play really, really bad. They're just so physically dominant, Chris. I mean, they don't look like a Class A club out there. I mean, physically on the hoof, they're just so impressive. And of course, you got Bowers and the Musil and and you got Big Buzz and Portwood and all the surrounding cast. Josiah, they're just loaded. So that old style defense Casey was talking about, I think is not going to bode well for Hooker tonight. I think it's going to be very, very tough. I think you'll see Bowers and the Crescent Tigers really exploit that.
Yeah, the Crescent Tigers playing in their 13th game, only 12 turnovers all season long. Hopefully that trend continues this week, and if the Tigers can advance, I'll obviously keep that next week as well. When we get to the field action, there will be a 74 on the field. Portwood is in 74, and a great story behind that. Well,
I went up to Matt and I said, "Well, are you trying to trick us?" And he said, "Well, I'm wearing this for one of my good friends." And one of his good friends, JD, passed away this past summer, recent graduate from Crescent, and they lost him just this summer. And JD Desher, and it's just a very neat thing for Matt to do. It's one of his best, like I said, it's his best friend. And Chris, you went through, being one of my best friends, went through us losing our son back in 2008, and I can tell you that those kind of gestures, those kind of things matter to the family and to the community, and it's just a first-class thing for Matt to do.
Great tribute there by Matt Portwood. This is the 9th time the Crescent Tigers have played in a state semifinal. They have a record of 4-4, trying to get to next week's state championship game. We're going to take a time out here on the Golden Age Crescent Tiger kickoff show. When we come back, Casey joins Coach J.L. Fisher, get his thoughts on tonight's Class A state semifinal game. From Ranger Field in Alva, Oklahoma, this is the Golden Age Crescent Tiger kickoff show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by the Christensen Media Group. Smart, efficient marketing. The Crescent Co-op, serving our community since 1949. Bostic Services Corporation, an equal opportunity employer. Boutique Therapy, rehabbing your wardrobe. CE&L Services, your Oklahoma transport company. Emmy Ironworks, custom work made just for you. Coffee Barn, every flavor combo with the perfect blend. Don's Drugstore, serving Crescent for over 40 years. RDT Trucking. Go Tigers!
Of Northwestern Oklahoma State University. And we now bring in the Crescent head coach, J.L. Fisher. And Coach, first got to ask you, I mean, you wouldn't be human if you didn't have nerves, right?
Oh, yeah, very nervous. I mean, kind of like the kids. Once we get that first play or that first hit out of the way, you know, we'll settle our nerves a little bit. And that's what we're here to do, is play football. And, you know, we got a great bunch of kids here. Got a great opponent tonight in Hooker. They're going to come give us their very best. We know that. So, you know, we're just ready to get this thing kicked off.
You got to love the fact that, you know, you're at a college facility, not only a college facility, but a facility they put so much money into it. Great amenities. It's got to add that little bit extra to your fans and kids, doesn't it?
You know, it does. It was so special for me to come back here, playing here in college in the early 90s. You know, this place has really transformed just in ways you can't believe if you've never seen it before. And, you know, I told our kids, I said, you're going to go to a very nice facility. You know, you're going to get to play somewhere. It's got a little bit of tradition for me. And so I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy for our kids to get to play on something like this.
And let's chew on this game, Coach, and let's dive in on Hooker and kind of the X's and O's of them. And, you know, the good thing, I was talking to Coach Walker earlier, your defensive coordinator, and talking to him about the fact that with your district in A5, and then just even in the playoffs, you know, you had Flexbone last week. 2 weeks ago, you had Rejoice Christian that spread it out all over the field. You guys have seen everything to this point, so you got to like the fact that there's really nothing that's going to surprise your kids tonight.
You know, we have seen a lot of stuff. We've seen a lot of spread. We've seen a lot of flexbone, a lot of wing tee. And, you know, Hooker has some great athletes. Their strength of their team is the athleticism that they bring to the table. You know, everybody talks about how great their basketball team is going to be this year. And I can believe that, looking at some of the athletes that they've got on the other, you know, out here in football. And so, you know, our kids are looking forward to it. We've seen a lot of different offenses, and, you know, we think we're prepared for it. We'll just have to, you know, get used to the speed, get used to their speed and make tackles, make plays.
You talk about being used to a lot of offense. Hooker's going to bring it, Coach. I know their numbers aren't astronomical. I mean, they're averaging somewhere in the low 30s points per game, but when you look at them, how it sets up schematically, Coach, they will line up in every single formation and run every kind of offensive play there is.
They will be very challenging for us defensively, for sure. They will line up in everything from spread to 2 to 3 back to, you know, a pistol formation with 2 backs to the side and a tailback. They'll get into swinging gate in the middle of the field. So, you know, we've got to be on our toes. We've got to be ready for that. And we've worked it all week. We feel like we're prepared.
And being prepared, Coach, when you have to be prepared for this Hooker team, it all starts with the quarterback, Yarborough, big old kid, 6 foot, 200 pounds. And obviously the 6'4" receiver, Dawson Metcalf.
Yeah, you know, the Yarborough kid reminds me a lot of Hunter Bowers. They don't use him in the running game like we use Hunter, but he throws the ball very well, and he's got a great big target in the Metcalf kid. And he will go to him, you know, when they get in trouble. I talked to some coaches, you know, over the last couple of weeks, and they said, you know, when they get in trouble, they like to find him. So that's a guy we're certainly going to have to know where he's at every time. And, you know, we're going to have to get a little pressure on number 4, too, because, you know, he likes to sling it a little bit, and maybe we can get him to throw it away some.
We talk about the Hooker offense and how new age it is with all the spread formations and everything that they can do. Defensively, it's an exact opposite story. It's as old school as it gets, Coach. You're going to get a 5-man front. You're going to get 3 linebackers, and you're going to get man coverage on the back end. It's not going to be complicated, but it's a very good defense.
You know, it is, and the reason why they can man up with a lot of people is because they have the athletes to do that. And they're going to get in that 5-man front. I don't see them changing much. I see them manning us up, and we're going to do some motions, you know, with them. We're going to try to get them out of the box a little bit, and, you know, we're going to run our big backs and try to power behind our big line, and, you know, hopefully those guys can open up some holes for us.
Can you give us an injury report, or do you want to keep that yourself?
We're healthy. You know, I'm not going to say, you know, for the game 14 of the season, we're obviously not 100% everywhere, but we're good enough that we can go out and play and be very, very efficient at any position.
Coach, I think probably the most intriguing part of this matchup, other than the fact that it's 2 great teams, when you look at what the community of Hooker has done getting behind this team. You know, last week set a record for them. They had never won more than 1 game in the playoffs. They broke that record last week. It's a community that's held pep rallies. It's a community that, just like yours in Crescent, is absolutely hungry for this environment. So it's 2 communities, 2 teams, 2 programs that are on the same pace here.
You know, it really is. And, you know, we're getting the very best out of our communities, both from Hooker and from Crescent. And, you know, I don't expect anything less from the kids tonight. I think we're going to get the very best out of Crescent kids. We're definitely going to get the very best out of the Hooker kids.
All right, Coach, to make the finals next week, what are the keys to the game going to be?
Got to limit turnovers as always, and we got to run the football and make some stops on defense.
Hey, do you got a Ric Flair woo in you for your fans? Woo! All right, Coach Fisher. Good luck tonight, Coach. That's the head coach for the Crescent Tigers, J.L. Fisher, and obviously a very good sport and very excited and also very nervous, as he should be, but a good kind of excited nervous. And, you know, down here, guys, it could not be more exciting. Everybody's fired up. It's going to be a great showdown.
And that is the thoughts of J.L. Fisher, the head coach of the Crescent Tigers. We're going to take a timeout here on the Golden Age Crescent Tiger Kickoff Show. Come back and get set for the Tigers and the Bulldogs. This is the Golden Age Crescent Tiger Kickoff Show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, as mobile as you are. Massage by Bev, a tranquil experience through caring hands. Book your appointment today. El Palmo Restaurant, Logan County's best Mexican. Commercial Construction, handling your underground utility needs since 1999. Impressed & Company, the place to get all your Crescent Tiger gear. Crow Creek Market, Crescent's best soup, sandwiches, and burgers. The Crescent Tag Agency, serving Crescent since 1974. Eagle Eye Electric, serving Crescent and surrounding areas for all your electrical needs. Myers Farm Boar Goats, proudly supporting Crescent football. Go Tigers!
Golden Age Crescent Tiger Kickoff Show, Ranger Field here in Alva, Oklahoma. Alongside Kel Evans, Craig Fleck, Phil Nichols, Casey Porter, Chris Evans with you. And Phil, we've spent some time down on the field and some time in the press box. And Alva's kind of close to my heart. I spent many summers up here with athletics, baseball, and it's a college town, obviously, with Northwestern Oklahoma State University, but a town that takes a lot of pride in their athletics.
Well, and what a first-class group of people. I mean, nothing but just quality. Since the second we rolled on the property, they've been just extremely professional and helpful, and an absolutely beautiful facility.
Looking at the Crescent Tigers this year, Phil Nichols, the Tigers averaging 51.8 points a contest and holding their opponents to only 2 touchdowns per game at 14.1 points. But, you know, again, 12 turnovers all season long. They've turned their opponents over 30 times. And you look at them, they're rushing the football 271 yards per game. That's pretty good. But last week when we saw the Tigers need the passing game because of what the defense was giving them, it was Lovett in this passing game led by Bowers is averaging 173 yards through the air.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, those numbers could be a lot higher if they chose to throw the ball. I mean, that kid he could probably average 300 yards a game throwing if they wanted to. Obviously, what do we all know? 2 out of 3 things are bad when you throw the ball. So, you know, if you can run the ball, you want to run it, but they can definitely spin the ball and go downfield and make some things happen, as well as get Musil and Buzz involved in the, you know, out in the flat, spinning balls out to them in the flat and getting them some space, letting them make some things happen.
This is the 4th meeting between Crescent and Hooker, as in 2005 the Tigers won the regular season game 43-6, and then 2 games in the playoffs in the mid-70s. Crescent Tigers defeated Hooker 1974 51-22, and in 1975 in a playoff game Crescent won 48-7. And I saw some social media back and forth. There's some Hooker Bulldog players that played in the mid-70s looking for some revenge here tonight.
That's what we love about high school football. You know, I mean, we talk about it all the time. I can relate to that. Our big nemesis was Fredonia High School up in southeastern Kansas, and I'd like to strap it on one more time and play those boys. It'd be funny to watch, but you know, you get those kind of generational rivalries going, and it's a lot of fun. You know, when these kids are, you know, those are their dads, right? So you got a lot of these fathers that played and are now wanting their sons to come on here and have success. So it's this all part of the great experience of high school sports.
Hooker Bulldogs just northeast of Guyman, Oklahoma. They're 12-1 this year. They were runners-up in Class A District 1, and they lost to Thomas back in Week 7 as Hooker won the first 6 games of the year. And then that Week 7 District Showdown, Thomas shuts out Hooker to win 20-0 and win districts, and Thomas Fay Custer to be exact, in a game tonight with Afton, which we'll be watching very closely to see who the winner of this ball game plays in next week's state championship. But since that loss, Phil, in week 7, these Hooker Bulldogs have won 6 in a row.
Well, and you look at Hooker, they've got some outstanding skill kids. You know, they don't look like Crescent up front. I mean, Crescent looks like a 4A, 5A football team up front. You know, I mean, they've got some big old boys that are athletic and can get out there and make things happen. And so, you know, a little bit of difference there. But on the skilled side, you know, I mean, they match up very, very well with Crescent tonight.
And the Hooker Bulldogs, this is the first time they have ever made the state semifinal game. And the last time they even won a district championship was in 1985. And as a program dating the last 61 years, they don't have a winning record. They're 264 and 330, but you would never know that this year. They're 12-1. And as excited as Crescent fans are, and rightfully so, they have been all excited. The pep assemblies, the send-offs have all been great, but they're doing the exact same thing in Hooker, Oklahoma.
Yeah, no doubt. And we had the privilege of meeting a very nice family, the Metcalf family. He's got a couple of sons playing tonight, 2 starters on this team. One being a big senior wideout, number 11, but they have Dawson, They have another son that's currently playing at Oklahoma State University football team, and so.
Clint.
Clint. And then their little girl, who I really wish I could remember her name, because she's probably the most athletic out of all of them. So
that's always the case, right, Phil?
Right. So, but I am telling you this. I mean, you're exactly right, Chris. These people are excited, happy. You know, everybody in the community is coming together. Nothing brings a community together like success on a high school football team in these small towns. I'm just telling you, we've lived it over the years, and it is a neat thing to experience. So, yeah, this is what's all good about high school sports, is what we're experiencing right now.
When you look at the Crescent Tigers in school history, their overall record is 384 wins to 224 losses. They're 1-3 in state championship games, of course, won state in 1990. Their playoff record in school history is 54-36, 21 district titles, including this year in 2017. The last time they won district was way back in 2006.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, great history at Crescent. I mean, we've talked a lot about it over the last few weeks. The lone state title in 1990, and the great story and subplots we have with all the the coaching staff, current coaching staff played on that team. There's just a lot of neat storylines, and like I said, this is what's great about high school sports, what we're getting to be a part of right now.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit more after this timeout. This is the Golden Age Crescent Tiger Kickoff Show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire, CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by Advanced Medical Equipment, professional and caring service. Horn Furniture, custom farm-style furniture. If you can dream it, we can build it. Propane Sales, over 50 years strong. The First Baptist Church, shining the light of Jesus on Crescent for more than 100 years. Gage's Steakhouse, Guthrie's best kept secret. Ross Nealis Services, LLC. Hot Shot Trucking, DC-90 Oilfield Services, Contract Pumping and Production Services, Abernathy Aaron Funeral Home, locally owned and operated. Small Town Spice Pepper Butter, homemade and hometown strong. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire, CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oilfield Services, Tiger Proud, Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing, interior and exterior care for your vehicle, Okie Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service, Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers, Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop, Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966, Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs, Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
Welcome back. Golden Age Crescent Tiger kickoff show. Phil Nichols down on the sideline. Up here in the booth, Cal Evans on the cameras. Craig Flake to my left with stats. Production manager. Casey Porter, Chris Evans with you. And a nice little 2-hour trip up here. And boy, there's a lot of excitement in Crescent today. Had the Pep Assembly. I didn't know Coach Fisher had some dance moves, but I saw some on social media. But really a lot of excitement.
Did he do the Gundy today?
He didn't do quite the Gundy, but it was a pretty cool skit.
Hey, he did give a good woo, though, didn't he, Phil?
He did. He's got a quality woo.
Which is important in Crescent, Oklahoma.
It's very important. I might have to let my woo out of the cage before the night's over.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe if Hunter Bowers goes on one of those long runs where Chris is talking about get off of me and all that kind of stuff, we may hear one of those come out of your mouth, right?
I've given a few woos with my mic off over the last few weeks.
Hey, what a great place to play a semifinal game, huh?
Yeah, this is first class, guys. I mean, it's just an outstanding facility. Everything about it's just awesome. Great environment, great facilities for the fans, great experience for the players, just a lot of fun.
Dylan Emery, 127 yards on the ground per game this year for the Crescent Tigers. I certainly think the running game would be important here tonight. Hunter Bowers also 81 yards a game, but Dylan Emery leading the way. 127 yards per game, 27 touchdowns on the year. That's almost 9 yards a touch.
Yeah, I mean, Buzz is going to. Their running game's going to go as Buzz goes, right? And of course, Bowers is going to tuck it and go get his yards, and then when those guys are a little winded, tired, they get to go out and try to tackle them to 34 Musil. So I mean, it's it's kind of a pick your poison kind of situation on the ground here with the Crescent Tigers.
And I got to say, Phil, watching Hooker on film all week long, and in my opinion, just watching them all week and then seeing them in person, they're not as big in person as they looked on film to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, we watched some film earlier this week, and we were off a few pounds and a couple inches on a few folks, but it's very physical, good ball team. Guys are getting ready to play the greatest song ever written.
All right, we will join the national anthem as soon as they go to it. And apologize for the little shadow there. Our radio crew to our right has their light on, so we'll try to. I think that might be the only bad angle we have tonight, but we'll try to fix that throughout the night. Let's get set for tonight's national anthem here, Ranger Field, Alva, Oklahoma.
And now for the playing of our national anthem by the Hooker Bulldog High School Band.
And there is tonight's national anthem, performed nicely by the Hooker Bulldog Marching Band across the way. The Crescent Tigers in the black and orange uniforms, the official home team on the scoreboard, if that matters to anybody. I don't think that's a big deal. Hooker Bulldogs in the traveling white and blue uniforms, as this is the Golden Age Crescent Tiger kickoff show. Ranger Field, Alva, Oklahoma. Of course, the winner of this ball game will match up with the winner of the other Class A semifinal game tonight. It's the Thomas Fay Custer, and
yes, have to include Fay and Custer in there. Yes,
Fay and Custer have to be included. But yeah, it's another great semifinal over there in Class A tonight, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. There's great football played in the other game as well. I mean, I think we both got Afton coming out on that side, all three of us. And I think we expect Crescent to come in out of this game tonight and have a Crescent-Afton matchup next week.
when we've been in 4 state title games with the Guthrie program, obviously, and we've covered all of them, Phil, and this is an atmosphere that can rival any of those. And this is an electric, I do mean an absolutely electric atmosphere, is it not?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, if you want to go, go check out Crescent with all the lights out in it, you can drive there tonight because there's probably not a light on in town. But no, I mean, it's just a really, like I said, it's an incredible experience to be here for this type of environment. Class A, small ball football. It's not going to look like small ball, but you got to get ready to see is some darn good football here in a second. But just first-class experience and a great experience for these kids as our Crescent boys are walking this way right now.
And I got to say, when we chew on the X's and O's of this game, we always talk about Hunter Bowers and Emery and Musil, all these skill guys, rightfully so. But much like last week and the week before that, I think this game is going to be won in the trenches, and I think Crescent squarely has that advantage.
Well, the Crescent, I love to call them affectionately the big uglies, and they are big boys. Not very ugly, pretty good-looking group of kids. For all the mamas listening out there, I don't want you to think I'm calling your babies ugly, but
that's no, okay. You're a rock star, Phil.
These are first-class, big-time players, and they don't look like an A lineup. And you look at their offensive line, defensive lines, Crescent's, they're all there, boys.
There you get a good look at the orange and black Tiger pride right there. Tonight's captains for the Crescent Tigers, number 4, Josiah Levitt, number 77, Dakota Chronister, number 33, Dylan Emery, and number 1, Hunter Bowers, are 4 Crescent Tigers. And the Hooker Bulldogs will bring out 2 captains, big number 11, Dawson Metcalf, 6'2", senior, and number 60, guys? Excuse me, 58, Efron Castenda. He's a 5'7", 200-pound senior.
Matt Portwood has a different number this evening.
Please. All right, hope either visitors get to call it. That's the tails, that's the heads, that's the heads, and that's the tails. What do you want to call it? Heads. Heads. Heads is called. And it is a tails.
Boys, Crescent wins the toss. I believe I heard Big Hunter Bauer say simply, we want the ball.
Hey, Phil, and I know you can't, but I've already done it, but if you could, I'd like for you to go over and give a big old hug to Mr. Danny Gacious, our head referee. He is one of the best referees out there, been doing it for a whole long time. And he is an awesome referee, awesome person, and very dear to the Porter family's heart. So Danny Gacious and a great crew this evening.
Well, I already did that, Case. Chris and I are down here, and we're messing with all the crew, but you're right, Danny's first-class guy, as they all are. Do a fabulous job. Very lucky to have this crew in the game tonight.
I'm glad you said all that. I'm giving Danny Gacious an A- tonight.
Oh, well,
maybe a B+.
Well, it'd be an A+ if there was a certain piece of equipment being worn.
If he would have used our radio gear to let everybody in the world know what the penalty was. Now we're just going to have to read his sign language to relay. But other than that, it is a great crew out there. Sean Spiva also on his officiating crew, and a great crew in North Central Oklahoma.
We chewed on the X's and O's. Phil, you got to see Hunter Bowers warm up. We talked about the ankle all last week as he rolled it. Tell me what you think about his health. I
think number 1, I think he's probably about 90-95%. But I tell you what, tough kid. I asked him, I said, how's the hoof? He goes, I'm perfect. So, I mean, he's that kind of kid. He's ready to play ball. Looks good. Didn't show anything, when he was warming up. No twinges, nothing that would signify any great pain there. But just first-class kid. Coach did say they held him out most of the week and let him just rest the ankle, which obviously, that's not going to hurt a kid like him at all to rest a little bit this time of year. So I look for him to be playing at 100% when he's probably about 90-95%.
Both teams have made their way onto the field. The Crescent cheerleaders once again creative this week with the sign that the Tigers just ran through. Tell y'all's girlfriends y'all be free next Friday.
Well, they're just trying to be friendly. They just want to go and get their dinner plans made and, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Very friendly people in Crescent, just trying to be helpful.
This has been the Golden Age Crescent Tiger kickoff show as we get set for the kickoff of the Class A state semifinals. As you heard in the coin toss, the Hooker Bulldogs will be kicking right to left on your screen. So glad to have you on board, whether you're on your mobile phone, your laptop, or your big screen TV. Glad to have you on this Friday night as the Tigers try to get into the state championship game for the 5th time in school history.
Phil, you ready?
I'm ready, brother.
Chris, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, it's time for state semifinal action in Class A football. Let's get it on.
Levitt, Johnson, and Heskin.
Heskett back deep for the Crescent Tigers at his 15-yard line. Now the Bulldogs will stretch across the 35-yard line. Kicking for the Bulldogs is number 21, Isaiah Vargas, 5'9", 175-pound senior, and we're underway. Class A state semifinals. The Tigers with the return from the 22-yard line out to the 25, to the 30, to the near side. It's to the 40, and out of bounds just shy of the 45-yard line. Look like Carson Heskett on the return, and here come the Crescent Tiger offense, led by their quarterback, Hunter Bowers, completing 67% of his passes. He's thrown 33 touchdowns through the air and has added 22 rushing touchdowns to go with that.
And he adds that extra element. When your quarterback can run the football, that outnumbers the defense. He gives you that advantage by one person in the run game, and that's something Crescent's been doing all year, and it's something they will do again tonight. See that 5-3 defense, a 4-3 defense to start out with for Hooker.
Tigers will start with Buzz across the middle as he gets to the 45-yard line, a 3-yard pickup for Dylan Emery, playing his 14th game this year. That was his 189th rush of the year. Again, 127 yards per average to go with 27 touchdowns on the ground.
Interesting that Hooker showed a 5-man front all week last week against Hominy, with Hominy's big quarterback that likes to run the ball. And the first two plays, they come out this evening and show a 4-man front, so a little twist up for them.
3 receivers to the near side. Bowers to throw for the first time. Has time, goes downfield, has a man wide open, and it's over the hands of the outstretched hands of Josiah Levitt. Pass is incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7:40 seconds gone by here in the first.
And there's that man coverage on the back end that we talked about earlier, and Hooker likes to play that. They play it on the back end. They're going to play straight up man-to-man coverage. So Crescent trying to challenge that with a deep ball real early against that.
3rd down and 7. Bowers to throw for the second time. Looks far side, throws it in the middle. It's caught at the 45. Dive into the 40-yard line. It's a first down by Carson Heskett. Heskett with his 25th reception of the year. He has 8 touchdowns in the 2017 campaign. 10-yard pickup.
That flare slant where you take Dylan Emery and you flare him out on a pass into the flats as the running back. That takes a linebacker and forces him to play that flare. And then whenever he does that, you throw the slant right behind it. There's nobody home because the linebacker's gone covering Emery on that pass route, and because of that, Crescent's able to complete it.
15 yards official. Buzz, that starts at the 40, gets to the 35 and down. They'll mark him actually at the 35, so it's a 5-yard pickup. Perfect situation for the Tigers, Casey. 2nd down and short.
And if you remember last week when Crescent got behind and they were struggling a little bit, they had a couple of early 3rd down and longs. And last week it was Tristan Rolls that caught the big 1st down catches to get the Tigers rolling. And this week they were able to do it again. So that passing game coming up big on 3rd and long, the big right arm of Hunter Bowers.
2nd and 5, Buzz on the right side, trying to get the 1st down, close to it as he's down at the 29. Depending on the spot, it's going to be at the, they're going to put him at the 30, so that will be a 5-yard pickup and a 1st down as the Tigers will have it as we go under 10:20 to play here in the opening quarter.
And you watch film and you chew on it, and you put in new plays based on what the other team's going to do. Hooker comes out in a 4-man front instead of a 5-man front. Crescent's running a couple of different things, then all of a sudden we're back to the 5-man front for Hooker, and Crescent with the 2 fullbacks running the counter like they've done all year.
2 halfbacks on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Pistol formation. Buzz gets a hand off the spike. Nyman in the backfield. Doesn't matter as he bulldogs over a bulldog across the 25 down to the 24-yard line. And Phil, offensive line for Crescent getting the push.
Well, offensive line for Crescent's absolutely dominating Hooker right now. I mean, the reason they're gassing him for 7, 8, 9, 10, and Bowers has all the time in the world to throws. The big uglies are doing what they came here to do. They're dominating the trenches.
7-yard pickup on 1st down.
And again, if Hooker does not go back to their 5-man front, put a nose guard and 2 tackles and 2 defensive ends out there, Crescent will run the ball down their throat all night. You see him go back to it here. Here's their traditional 5-man front.
2nd down and 3. Bowers on the little keeper left side, and he'll get down to the 22. Awkward as he went down, does get 1 yard. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. Tigers 1 for 1 tonight. On the year, they're completing 55% on 3rd down, trying to get a 1st down.
It is 3rd down, but you might as well consider it to be 2nd because you're in plus territory. You're not going to ask Tristan Roll to kick a field goal from the 22-yard line, which would be 39 yards long, to start this game out. So you're going to run the ball. You're going to try to do it once to get the 1st down. If you don't, then you'll run it twice and you'll have 2 plays to get the first down.
Needing the 20, 3rd down and 2. Buzz has a first down and more as he's down at the 17-yard line. 5-yard pickup for Buzz Emery. And Buzz has yet to get up as he has both hands on his face mask and now starting to crawl up a little bit on this beautiful playing surface here in Alva.
Crescent runs so much misdirection with those 2 fullbacks with Musil and Portwood, and then, you know, they can either run that misdirection with Bowers running it back away from everybody in their blocking scheme, or they can just hand it to Emery on those counter plays and Powers. But there's so much misdirection that when you finally do line up 2 fullbacks like Crescent did on a 3rd and short, and then just hand it straight off on an outside zone play, and you get downhill in a hurry, it gets on the defense faster than they can react.
Buzz out, Musil in. We'll get a report here in a second from Phil as Musil looks at 2 halfbacks on his left side. Bowers takes a shotgun snap. They run it on the right side with both halfbacks pulling. Musil cuts it up to the 15, stiff arm, dives for the 10-yard line. They'll give him the 10. Let's quickly go back downstairs with Phil and that injury report.
Buzz is going to be fine. He's had the quote of the night. He came off, says, "Coach, I can't feel my shoulder, but I'm okay."
Boy, and I'll tell you what, both Buzz Emery and Sean Musil looking great running the ball, but would you agree it's in front of you, Phil? They need to put the ball away a little bit better, a little careless in the way that they're carrying the ball right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They're a little loose with the ball right now. There's no doubt. Musil just scared the daylights out of me over here, but reaching for that extra yard. But, yeah, they're going to have ball control as we talk. That's the only thing that can beat them, I think.
7-yard pickup to the 10. 2nd down and 3. Tigers get 1 more first down inside the 10. Musil will try to do it up the middle. He does it as he gets up to the 5-yard line. And the Tigers will have a 1st and goal here on their opening drive. 7:45 to play, opening quarter.
Hooker started out with a 4-man line, then they went back to their traditional 5-man line, and then once Crescent got inside the scoring zone inside the 20, now they're using a 6-man line. And the good thing about that is check, check, and check against all 3 of them with the rushing game against Crescent. None of them, nothing that Hooker has done from a defensive front perspective has slowed this Crescent rushing game down.
Dylan Emery back in the game. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Wishbone or cowboy formation as Buzz stretches for the end zone. He has it in the Crescent Tigers. Strike first in the Class A state semifinal. Touchdown, Buzz Emery, 5 yards out.
And if you were nervous and coming out here in a state semifinal, you haven't won a state title since 1990. You're coming back to the place that your coaches played when they won state titles. It means a lot to them. You have some nerves, Phil. No better way than to just take the football, run the ball right down Hooker's throat, and take dominance of this game.
Tristan Rose on for the PAT. Lovett's the holder, the snap. The hold, the kick is all good. The Tigers on the scoreboard first. 7-0 lead, 7:24 to play, 1st quarter. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by the Christensen Media Group, smart, efficient marketing. The Crescent Co-op, serving our community since 1949. Bostic Services Corporation, an equal opportunity employer. Boutique Therapy, rehabbing your wardrobe. CE&L Services, your Oklahoma transport company. Emmy Ironworks, custom work made just for you. Coffee Barn, every flavor combo with the perfect blend. Don's Drugstore, serving Crescent for over 40 years. RDT Trucking, go Tigers!
Crescent Tigers on the scoreboard as they go 11 plays on an opening drive, 58 yards, took 4.5 minutes off the game clock. It was capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by Dylan Emery. That scoring summary brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Kevin McGuire CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Just what the doctor ordered here for the Crescent Tigers to jump out to an early lead. Again, averaging several points here in this postseason, almost 70. Here's a return at 5 to the 10 to the 15. Breaking 1 tackle and not getting much after that broken tackle. And here comes the Crescent Tiger defense. Tigers Giving up total yards 191 per game. That's pretty darn good.
That is pretty good. And we talked about on the high school huddle, you know, you mentioned, can anybody outscore Crescent? And the answer to that so far has been no. And that's because out of all the teams that are left, Crescent's played the best defense throughout the year. So you talk about all the offenses, they're all really good. Hooker's offense is legit. You'll see a million different formations, a million different styles of play. But when it comes down to it, this time of year, the team that plays the best defense is the team that wins, typically speaking, and that team has been Crescent throughout the year.
Penalty will be against the Bulldogs, half the distance. And so they'll start inside their own 10-yard line on their opening drive here. About the 8-yard line is where the Bulldog offense comes out. Quarterback for the Bulldogs, number 4, Donovan Yarbrough. 3 receivers set, 2 to the near side, 2 backs as well. Yarbrough handed off and stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Portwood on the tackle for the Tigers, so we say his name early here tonight, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, he's loaded for bear. This game obviously means something to him a little deeper with his good friend wearing his jersey tonight. One other thing I'll tell you guys, a big difference out there. Bowers is not out on the field on defense, so I think with that ankle injury, Chris, I think they're definitely protecting Bowers, trying to rest him a little bit.
Not a bad strategy if you can get away with it here, especially see if they can do it early in this game as the Bulldogs go to the same format as the previous one. Bulldogs want it all going downfield, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver for the Bulldogs is Dawson Metcalf. Josiah Levitt on the coverage.
Josiah Levitt had the big catches, the deep catches last week, and then, you know, you remember all those, you forget how good a defense that Crescent played as well in the secondary, because, you know, they were trying to switch some things up against that triple option and got confused on a couple of those counter plays, but come the second half when all the adjustments were made, that secondary really settled down for that Crescent defense led by Josiah Levitt.
3rd down and 15, and another pass that's incomplete. Through that one in triple coverage at the 20-yard line. Looked like a Paul on the ball by Bailey Babb will make it incomplete. It brings up 4th down and 15, and surely the Bulldogs will punt this one away.
Yeah, you would certainly think, and the good sign early in this game is the fact that Crescent was able to come down, other than the 3rd and long that they completed for the first down. Crescent was able to come out, run the football, and go score. Hooker was not able to run. They had to try to throw the ball to move it, and if that trend continues, Crescent will win this game.
Nice high punt. Takes a Tiger bounce. It goes inside the 35 and down at the 34. So great field position for the Crescent Tiger offense, who was able to go down the field on their opening drive when they went 11 plays and 58 yards. .30-yard punt. Tigers take over. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Tigers with 2 halfbacks. Bowers in the shotgun. 1st down and 10. Officially from the 34-yard line. Ball's on the far hash mark. Bowers looks at throw. Goes downfield looking for Lovett. And it's incomplete. Letting by a couple of yards as Bowers was looking for Lovett. Incomplete. Nice play call there on 1st down. 2nd down 10.
The great part of that, as far as calling that play on 1st down, is the fact that you ran the ball so well. You expect Hooker to come up, play that run, which means they're in that man coverage. You play the run. That sets up the deep ball very well, especially in this diamond. And then 2, you're in plus territory, so you can go forward on 4th, so you have 3 more downs to run it if you need them.
Bowers with a triple lead, cuts it up at the 35. Hooker trying to tear that football away, cannot do it, as it is officially no pickup for Bowers. So that brings up 3rd down and 10, under 6 minutes to play here in the first.
Bowers' ankle from a week ago looks very healthy, and I know Phil said that a couple of times, but it's taken a couple of shots already, his ankle has, and he's been able to hold up to it. But big 3rd down here, you went down and you scored on your first possession. If you could take that 2-score lead, you put a whole lot of pressure on a Hooker team that has never been this far in the playoffs.
3rd down, 10. Bowers bootleg, throws it at the ankles. It's incomplete. Intended for Musel as Bowers was hit as he threw the football. And now it'll bring up a 4th down and 10 for the Tigers. And the Tigers on the year on 4th down have executed 38.7 for first downs.
Being 4th down and 10, a long ways to go. It tempts you just to quick kick this thing as well as you play defense on the last possession when you had Hooker inside the 5. It tempts you just to quick kick this and play the field position, try to pin him down there and play defense.
Bowers punt formation.
Yep.
Not sure if I've ever seen Crescent punt before in the few weeks that we've been following these Tigers. It's a good snap and trying to get it inside the 5. Going to need a Tiger bounce, and it goes 3 yards into the end zone. And so the Bulldogs will have a 1st down and 10 as the Bulldog defense holds the Tigers after Crescent had great field position after the Tiger defense held Hooker inside the 10-yard line.
Crescent defense that got a 3-and-out last time off of the first score for the Tigers. And, you know, we always talk about the 3 phases of the game: special teams, offense, and defense. Obviously, you have the good kick return, which sets your offense up in good field position. They took advantage of that when it scored. Then your defense got a 3-and-out. You got to start a new cycle here.
Bulldogs try the run on the right side, the ground side, and it's going to be half a yard, maybe a 1-yard pickup. Fighting this pole in the middle here in the press box.
Yeah.
Can't find a comfortable spot. It's a beautiful press box, just one little pole here in the middle.
Two-headed monster for the running game for Hooker. You have Nick Barrios, number 25, Tanner McBee, number 22. They have similar numbers, similar builds, and they run the ball very similarly. So it's hard to tell which one has the ball at any given time.
1-yard pickup, tackle by Buzz, and now back to the air game and incomplete, as Yarbrough had to throw that one a little bit quicker than he wanted to because of the Tiger pressure on the right side of the line of scrimmage. It falls incomplete. It brings up a 3rd down and 9 play.
And again, if Hooker cannot run the ball, all of those play actions, all those neat little plays where you run like the waggle you did here, and all of your flare plays and all of your combo routes, and all of those things that Hooker likes to do, bubble screens and quicks, they don't work if they can't run the ball because Crescent's able to press up and play press coverage.
Bulldogs will send 2 receivers each side. 3rd down and 10 because the Tiger defense holds again. They come near side. It's intercepted at the 23, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Tiger defense. Jacob Musel puts the Tigers on top, 13-0.
When you talk about all 3 phases working together, offense, defense, special teams, it couldn't work any better. You had a good punt, you've had a good kick return, now you've had an offensive touchdown, and add that with a defensive touchdown, it could not be any better.
And so the Tiger offense on the board, Tiger defense now on the board. Rolls on for the PAT, snap, hold, kick. It is good. Tigers out early, 14-0, 4:22. Class A state semifinals from Alva. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, as mobile as you are. Massage by Bev, a tranquil experience through caring hands. Book your appointment today. El Palmo Restaurant, Logan County's best Mexican. Commercial construction, handling your underground utility needs since 1999. Impressed & Company, the place to get all your Crescent Tiger gear. Crow Creek Market, Crescent's best soup, sandwiches, and burgers. The Crescent Tag Agency, serving Crescent since 1974. Eagle Eye Electric, serving Crescent and surrounding areas for all your electrical needs. Myers Farm Boar Goats, proudly supporting Crescent football. Go Tigers!
Crescent Tigers on top of the Hooker Bulldogs, 14-0. Jacob Musel with the interception. We'll get that here after this kickoff. It's a kick left to right. It'll be fielded at the 14-yard line. Here's the return to the near side, 25-30, trying to cut to the 35, does to the 40 near sideline, and driven out of bounds near the 45, and now here comes a late flag on the return. Was that 21 Vargas? We'll see what this penalty marker is. Crescent Tigers 25-yard pick 6. Jacob Usel. That has been the Kevin McGuire CPA scoring summary. Kevin McGuire CPA, let us tackle your taxes.
And there is no substitute. We're going to have a block in the back. No substitute, a big game for getting the lead early and getting those nerves out. And what looked like was going to be the first really, really, really good possession that Hooker was going to have with good field position. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not great like it was going to be now.
Phil?
Just talked to Coach Booth, of course, athletic director for the Crescent Tigers. He came up to me after Musel picks that back, and he said, you know, Musel came up to me today and said, Coach, I'm going to get me an Oski for 6 tonight. Oh. He's a man of his word, Chris.
And didn't waste any time doing it either. Second Hooker possession took it to the house, and now Bulldogs on their third offensive possession with 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Diamond formation. Fake the pass, hand it off on a little draw here near sideline, 35 to the 40. Fumbles the football, picked up by the Bulldogs, but he was out of bounds when he picked it up at the 42.5-yard line. Picking it up was number 7, Neville, after the Vargas fumble.
And Vargas is kind of their Swiss Army knife. He's not necessarily their running back. He's not their number 1 receiver. He's not their quarterback, but he's the guy that will kind of do a little bit of all of it. And a lot of people will say he is their best overall athlete and most productive player because he does a little bit of everything on both sides of the ball. And we've seen him return kicks. Now we saw him go on a good run and get a first down. So Vargas is another one of those guys you kind of forget about in this offense. And the next thing you know, he's hurting you.
Picks up 10. Now they'll try the right side of the line of scrimmage and not going anywhere. Nice open field tackle for a 1-yard loss. And now here's a late flag thrown by the far side. Might be a late hit on the Tigers.
Looks like that's what's going to be, and that's too bad because that was a great, I do mean great, open field tackle on the running back Barrios. So if you watch film on him, both him and McBee, that's what they do. They run that flare to that running back to one side, and then they run that counter back the other. They get their running backs in space, and once they're in space, they're very tough to tackle. Crescent did it, but then there was a late hit, and that was disappointing because it was such a great defensive play.
So the penalty will move the Bulldogs into Tiger territory for the first time tonight, and the ball would be placed at the 43-yard line. Two receivers in this formation, 1 to each side. 3 men in the backfield with the quarterback Yarbrough.
I think that's
Tigers jump, but did the center not snap the ball in time?
I think he simulated a snap. Be a false start on the offense, and you know we've gotten to see with those 2 little flare concepts. You run the flare, which is just a back out, little swing route to your back, and then you fake that one way, and then you run the counter with pulling guard and tackle back the other. So it's a good misdirection play, and we've been able to see Hooker what type of offense they like to run, how multiple it is on this drive because they finally had good field position enough to do it.
Bulldogs getting ready to run their 9th offensive play in this ball game. Trailing 14-0, 3:18 and rolling here in the first quarter. First down and now 15 after the penalty. A little reverse here. Here come the Bulldog, and the ball is fumbled. Buzz creates the fumble. And I think, excuse me, that's Babb who caused the fumble. 23, not 33. And I think the Bulldogs jump back on top of him. They do at the 48-yard line.
And that is the second time that Crescent has tackled Nick Barrios in the open field. One was off of a counter where it looked like he was going to get loose. And then this one, you know, you run that counter, then you run the reverse off of it, which is a great setup. And the fact that Bailey Babb stayed home to begin with was good enough. And then whenever he's able to make an open field tackle to finish the play, that's even better. Very impressive play, Bailey Babb.
Second down and 15. I'm not sure what the Bulldogs are wanting to do here, and that was a dangerous pass as Yarbrough left as a receiver. And now a flag thrown on second down and 15. Penalty marker came right in front of the Bulldog bench. Crescent fans on the near side does not like the flag, as you hear in our crowd mics.
It's going to be on a defenseless offensive player. And I think you're going to talk about it and probably wave this one off when all is said and done.
He didn't arrive early.
You think he arrived early?
No, I said he did not arrive. Did not.
I think you throw it because it was a defensive player, then you all talk about what you saw after he was defenseless, and you figure out what you had. Good officiating.
Well, it's the quarterback that put everybody in danger, including his own receiver with the high pass. Of course, he was just trying to get rid of it before the Tiger defense came crashing down on him. Yeah, I think they're going to wave this one off. The Bulldog coach not happy on the far side.
Yep. Saw that one coming.
Yeah. Good officiating.
It's perfect mechanics. Whenever you see a defenseless offensive player, you throw your flag because that then gives you the ability to call it if you need to.
Yeah.
Because after you throw your flag, then you can talk about it. If you don't throw your flag to begin with, you can't ever talk about it and throw your flag after.
Good coverage there by Josiah Lovett. And now third down and 15. And who is it? It's Musil. Another big defensive play by Musil from his linebacker spot. And now the Bulldogs are back in their own territory, and they're probably going to have to punt this one away.
And Musil has seen that counter play way too many times. As soon as he saw that guard and tackle pull from the opposite side of the formation that he was on, he just went right up to the play. He knew where it was going. They took him right to the play. And when he came, he had that typical attitude that he comes with.
5-yard loss, fourth down and 20. Line drive punt, bounces at the 20, filled it at the 10-yard line. Here's the return to the 15, center field 20, and down at the 23-yard line. On the return for the Tigers was number 23, Bailey Babb. And here comes Hunter Bowers and the Crescent Tiger offense back on to the field. A minute 40 to play here in the first quarter. Crescent Tigers 14 and the Hooker Bulldogs 0.
And you ran the ball so well on your first possession that you thought really, with plus field position on your second possession, hey, you're set up for a perfect deep shot. You threw it, didn't complete it, then you ended up having to punt. I don't think you'll see Crescent throw the ball on first down here.
Two halfbacks for Hunter Bowers, the quarterback. Shotgun snap, hands it off. Right side across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Nice run there by Buzz Emery. And Phil, it looks like if the Tigers want to do that all night, that might be there all night.
Yeah, it's there all night, guys. This offensive line for the Crescent Tigers absolutely dominating the front line. They can run that, pop 5, 6, 7 a down all night long.
They get 7 there. Second down and 3 upcoming.
And when you look at what's in the box for Hooker, Phil, count them. I mean, right now they're standing 9 guys in the box, and Crescent's still able to line up 2 fullbacks and run the ball.
Just physically dominating the front line.
Second down 3 from the 30-yard line. Ball's on the near hash mark. Diamond formation. Buzz again up the middle and close to a first down. Needed 3, gets 4 to the 34, and the Tigers will move the chains under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Again, Tigers on top 14-0 as the Crescent Tigers pick up their 6th first down of the ballgame. Hooker has 3 first downs.
And another thing you're doing, Nick Barrios, Cade Fisher are 2 of your linebackers. They actually have 3 linebackers in right now, but they are also 2 of the better offensive players. So the more that you run it right at them, the more you wear them down, the less effective they become on offense. So look how many guys they have stacked in the box here. 9 guys in the box.
Babb gets the call here on first down, and he'll get it up to the 39-yard line. Still another 5-yard pickup. Crescent, as mentioned, 6 first downs. 5 of those have come on the ground. Of course, the first one was a big pass to complete the first down of the night early on this quarter.
Phil, have you ever seen 9 guys in the box still in the first quarter?
No, I haven't. That's what we were just down here talking about, and I just heard Coach Booth tell Coach Fisher, he said, Coach, he said, I don't think we need to pass the rest of the night.
Nope, I was getting ready to say that. When you have a 2-score lead, you can dictate what style of offense you want to run, especially if you're running the ball.
First quarter is in the books. All Tigers so far as they have a 14-0 lead. An offensive touchdown and a defensive touchdown is the difference so far. Come back to Alva for second quarter action. This is the Class A state semifinal.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire, CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by Advanced Medical Equipment, professional and caring service. Horn Furniture, custom farm-style furniture. If you can dream it, we can build it. Propane Sales, over 50 years strong. The First Baptist Church, shining the light of Jesus on Crescent for more than 100 years. Gage's Steakhouse, Guthrie's best-kept secret. Ross Nealis Services, LLC. Hot Shot Trucking, DC-90 Oilfield Services, Contract Pumping and Production Services, Abernathy Aaron Funeral Home, locally owned and operated. Small Town Spice Pepper Butter, homemade and hometown strong.
The Crescent Tigers will have the football here, second down and 5. Dylan Emery, 5-yard touchdown run, 25-yard interception return for Jacob Usel for the 2 touchdowns there in the first quarter as the Tigers have a 14-0 lead. Welcome back, Alva, Oklahoma, Class A state semifinal. Kel Evans, Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Casey Porter, Chris Evans with you. Tigers second down and 5 as they now reverse fields, move right to left. Bowers in the shotgun, 2 halfbacks, gives it off to Babb across the 40 to the 42-yard line. And the Tigers will be 1.5 yards shy of the first down and pick up a 3.
Bill, you mentioned that Coach Booth, with all the experience he has, went up to Coach Fisher and said, I'm not sure we have to throw the ball again. And then not only that, but what a great changeup it is to bring Bailey Babb in. It looks like he shot out of the cannon after running Musel and Emery all night.
Yeah, absolutely great strategy. I mean, they got these guys on the sideline down here for Crescent. They do it right. They talk, they communicate. Great staff.
Third down and 2, 1.5 yards. Emery first down and more across the 45, spin into the midfield, into Bulldog territory, and down at the 46-yard line. Tough run by Buzz as the Tigers on the prowl again.
And I can tell you this from being the head baseball coach at Guthrie and having Eddie Daves in my dugout, Phil, that when you have a guy like Sean Booth on your sideline, who's been through these battles so many times throughout the years, is such a calming influence and can give you such great advice at the most critical times. It's invaluable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Booth does a fabulous job down there, and he is that. He's that calming voice for the sideline and for the staff.
1st and 10, Tigers. Bowers wants to throw, pumps, goes down fielding for Heskett, in danger of this one being intercepted. It's incomplete, though, at the 20-yard line. Stops the clock. 1:01 into the second quarter.
I'm going to say it for the first time. You hear me say it every week, partner, Chris, that you can't get bored.
Yeah,
yeah. You got 1 or 2 plays and a couple of sets that are just running it right down your throat, and you got all this offense in based on what you saw, and you want to get to it, right?
Right.
But you can't do it. You just got to stay with what's working. And the running game, the counter play, and the lead plays out of this 2 fullback set is what's working.
Second down and 10, Bowers with the lead play going backwards and hit for a loss all the way back to the 50-yard line. It's a loss of 4. And so now 3rd down and 14, and the Tigers going to need a big one here on 3rd down, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are, and I think one thing that we've noticed, in pregame he looked fine throwing, but we hadn't seen him cut. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Not playing defense, not having a great deal of success planting that foot and letting it fly down the field. I think Bowers' ankle's obviously affecting him a little bit tonight.
Yeah, which injured that ankle last week.
Which means getting a lead would be even more valuable because then you can kind of dictate how much you have to use it.
And luckily so far, Emery and Babb have done a good job of running the football. Bowers goes downfield, has a man at the 20, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver was Josiah Lovett. And now it's 4th down.
And you got a punt here. And again, you've had 2 first downs where you threw the ball. And then you ran the quarterback sweep after you incompleted them. And those are the only 2 times that you punted the ball. So, again, you go back to, you evaluate. You want to get to everything you have in the game plan just to see how it works. And, again, to continue to run the ball, you got to stretch the defense like Crescent is doing by throwing it deep. But, it's the 2 times that you've run the ball or thrown the ball on 1st down that you punted. So I think that's something that Coach Fisher will evaluate as the game goes on.
Bowers trying to angle this one on the near sideline. Bounces inside the 10. Takes a little bit of a Bulldog bounce, but Tigers will down it inside the 10-yard line. So Hooker will once again, for the second time in this ball game, set up camp inside the 10-yard line after a 43-yard punt with no return.
Yeah, and it's just absolutely valuable that, you know, you talk about the Crescent offense, you didn't score on that possession, but you know what you did do? You got field position back, and then you punt the ball, and then obviously you killed some time off the clock, which, when you have a quarterback like Hunter Bowers that is not healthy enough to even play defense, to start Hooker up with the terrible field position they've had is a huge, huge factor, even though he didn't score.
First down and 10 as the Bulldogs set up camp at their 9-yard line. Little screen pass caught on the far side. Out to the 15 on the far boundary, pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it about a yard or two shy of the first down marker. Hooker with 2 yards of offense before that snap. Now about 11 yards. Let's go back downstairs with Phil.
Guys, one of the things that's interesting, you know, a lot of big games being played around the state tonight. Just had a gentleman come up to me, show me his phone. Carl Albert Tigers 14, or Carl Albert 14. McGinnis 0, Chris, end of the first quarter.
Yeah, no surprise there. Titans looking to go undefeated for the first time in school history. Second down to 1, pass caught at the 10, quick to the 15, near sideline 20, and diving for the 23-yard line. They'll give him the 24-yard line. On the reception there was number 7, Carter Neville, the junior, and the Hooker Bulldogs have the first down.
Neville is the guy that moves the chains for them. He's the guy they throw the bubble screens, the quicks, and all of those, if you want to, those pass plays that you could consider to be an extension of your running game that are meant to get 5, 6, 7 yards and keep you ahead of the chains and give you some consistency to your offense. Neville is that guy. Metcalf's their big play receiver. You see him to the top, the big 6'4" guy. But number 7, Neville, he is their chain mover.
Flag thrown as this one was snapped. Flag thrown by the umpire. Previous play, Hooker picked up their 4th first down of the game. That's their 2nd through the air. They'd have also 1 on the ground and 1 through a penalty. And this is another false start against the Bulldogs. They will go backwards as they have taken 12 offensive snaps for just 12 yards and now have been penalized for the 2nd time. Crescent has been penalized 3 times for 25 yards.
Yep, and penalties obviously are going to be a huge factor, especially when you don't have good field position like Hooker does not. But they've finally gotten into some sets they like. They like this quad set. They either run that quarterback power or the running back power up the middle, and or they just throw that quick to Neville usually, who is the guy who dots this diamond formation.
First down and 15. Diamond formation. It's intercepted. Oh no, dropped at the 10-yard line. Almost another pick 6 for the Tiger defense as it falls incomplete, and the Hooker Bulldog fans take a big sigh of relief on that one.
They have 3 plays out of that diamond. They have the quick to Neville, like you just saw. Crescent obviously jumped that route. They've seen that on film. Then they have the fake the quick, run the quarterback power up the middle, and then they have just a little underscreen off of all of that. But that's a package that they've shown on film. It's a package Crescent has seen, and it's one they almost jumped for a pick 6.
Yeah, Jackson Taylor saw end zone before he saw football in the hand. So brings up second down 15 for the Bulldogs from their own 19-yard line. Hand off on the near side to the 20, to the 23-yard line. Jacob Musil on the tackle. Running back there was Nick Barrios, the senior. And so here comes another third down chance for the Bulldogs this season. The Crescent Tigers are holding opponents at 31% percentage rate on making first downs.
Yeah, Phil, did you see it? I was right in front of you how well, it's called leverage in defensive football. Jacob Musil, Carson Heskett, they use leverage. What do I mean? The linebacker has to play that inside leverage, stay inside of the running back. The cornerback has to stay outside and then run the running back to the sideline. Musil and Heskett used perfect leverage, didn't they?
No doubt about it.
Third down and 11. Ball's on the near hash mark. A little screen pass caught behind the line of scrimmage to the 25, 30, 35. Ball's fumbled at the 40. Was he down on the turf? He was at the 33-yard line. Pickup of 10 yards, and we'll have to see the replay here in our booth.
It would be risky to go for it, especially knowing that you are not winning the game in the trenches if you're Hooker.
Fourth and 1.
Yeah, it's 4th and 1. It's tempting because you're down 2 scores and you're starting to feel like you're only going to have so many chances, and you're starting to play better offense, so it's very tempting. You only need 1 yard. You have a big old quarterback, but they don't really use him. Their running backs are more scat back type players, so this is a big time risk for the Hooker Bulldogs.
Here we go, 4th down and 1 from the 33. They will go for it, and they'll run for it, and they have it at the first down at the 35, getting to the 36 and down at the 36. So they need it 1, they get 3, and the Bulldogs will move the chains. Very gutsy play call there from your own 33.
And you got to be careful. They're starting to put Neville, their little slot back guy, number 7, and then number 11, their big play guy, Dawson Metcalf, on the same side of the field. You see it here to the bottom. And what they'll do is they'll fake that little quick or the bubble to 7, then they'll run that bubble and go and throw it deep to number 11. You got to watch out for that package.
Going backwards on this one are the Bulldogs. Loss of 2 on the play.
And I can tell you right now, if you are Carson Heskett, number 4 for Crescent at corner, you cannot get your eyes in the backfield. Hooker likes to run all those running plays, and then they pull it out with Yarbrough, and then they hit one of those big long passes off of play action. So if you're Carson Heskett at corner and you're covered up and you're covering up Metcalf, number 11, you cannot worry about what's going on in the backfield. You have to keep your eyes on the big receiver, Dawson Metcalf, because he will go deep.
2nd down and 13. Back to the running game, spinning at 35, hit hard at the 36-yard line. Pick up a 3, so here we go, 3rd down and 10.
Surprises me that they have not tried to stretch the field yet against Crescent and try to see if they can't, because they want to run the ball, obviously. They have a good inside-outside running game. But to be able to do that when you're outweighed about 50 pounds on average up front, which Crescent's defensive line will outweigh the Hooker offensive line by about 50 pounds on average, you're going to have to stretch the field and open up some space. Hooker has not done that.
And they're going to try to run for it, 35, 40, 45, and 1st down. And they get into Crescent Tiger territory at the 49-yard line. They pick up 3 additional yards. It's a 1st down and 10 under 6 minutes play here in the 2nd quarter. And Alva, Oklahoma Crescent Tigers leading the Hooker Bulldogs by a score of 14-0. Coming up here will be the Pioneer halftime show.
There's that guy, just talked about it just a minute ago, Carter Neville. He is the chain mover for this Hooker team. He is the guy that gives consistency to this offense, and he does it again on that reverse and gets a big 1st down for the Bulldogs.
1st down, 10 up the middle. Bowers, Casey, we take a look there, in on defense.
And that happens whenever you feel threatened, and that's something you hoped you didn't have to see tonight. But Hooker is too good offensively. They're too multiple. They have too good a talent. We see Metcalf and Neville again to the same side of the formation here at the bottom. And then you see that little swing pass to the other side of it to Barrios, and here he goes, and he's going to outrun the defense. Can anybody catch him? Hunter Bowers on the prowl.
He'll push him out of bounds somewhere inside the 15-yard line. That's the biggest play of the game for the Bulldogs. And it's going to be down at the 13-yard line.
It's a simple concept. You put Neville and you put the big receiver Metcalf to the same side of the field, which means you draw all the coverage that way. And then once you do that, you fake a run that way and then swing it back out the other. You've rolled covers to one side, you throw a swing to the other, and now it's just one-on-one and see who can outrun the other.
Toss right side, trying to stretch it, 15. Breaks 1 tackle, getting down to near the 11-yard line. Bowers on the tackle, Barrios on the run. It is a pickup of about 2-3 yards, and so bring up 2nd down.
You got to be careful. They will do a lot like Crescent does. They will go what they call diamond, and they will bring in 2 fullbacks, 3 running backs, and they will just put Metcalf and Barrios and or Vargas, here you see it, on the edge, and then they'll force you into man coverage and then just lob up a fade pattern and see if Metcalf can catch it.
23, offensive play of the game for the Bulldogs. Play action, end zone, wide open, touchdown. With the reception from 11 yards out was number 11, Dawson Metcalf. Bulldogs now with 93 yards of offense as they hit the scoreboard.
That's what you worry about. They get you all bunched into a phone booth with a heavy set, and then that forces you to play man coverage on the outside. If you choose to play off coverage like Heskett did, then they just either run a stop or a slant like they did for that touchdown. If you play press coverage, then they just throw the fade. It's a very difficult concept to stop, And we got to see what Hooker can do offensively when they had good field position. They are a very, very good offensive team.
Bulldogs trying to pull within a touchdown. It's a line drive kick just above the crossbar and good. Bulldogs on the board, 4:19 to play till the Pioneer halftime show. Tigers 14, Bulldogs 7. This is the Class A state semifinal game.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oil Field Services. Tiger Proud. Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing. Interior and exterior care for your vehicle. Okie Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service. Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers. Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop. Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966. Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs. Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
Bulldogs on the scoreboard. Metcalf, 11-yard touchdown reception from his quarterback Donovan Yarbrough. And the Bulldogs cut that Crescent lead in half. Stay tuned here in the next 4 minutes and 19 seconds of game time. We'll have our Pioneer halftime show. We'll have scores from the state of Oklahoma. State championship games in the larger classes, also in Class C football. We'll have those during the Pioneer halftime show. Here's the kickoff, left to right. It'll bounce at the 29, picked up at the 24. Here's a return, quickly across the 30 to the 35, to the 40, to the 43, and body slammed at the 44-yard line. That's usually a flag, but it's a tackle. But nowadays, when someone gets tackled hard, usually it looks like a flag will come, but no flag here.
And as hard as it is to play defense against these multiple offenses that everybody runs, and we see it every week, when you get a chance to make a tackle like that, you take advantage of it, and Metcalf certainly did. And, boy, you can certainly feel the momentum that Hooker is feeling right now as we speak. They have a lot of excitement. They have weathered the storm early, and they were able to respond with that last touchdown drive, and so they squarely have momentum right now.
Crescent Tigers with their 23rd offensive snap. Buzz Emery across the 45 to the 47. A 3-yard pickup. Tigers now with 88 yards of offense. And Hooker right now with an offense of 129 yards. Mentioned earlier, they're on the scoreboard with a touchdown reception of 11 yards. They go 13 plays, 91 yards in 5 minutes and 40 seconds. That scoring summary brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes.
I think the most disappointing part of that last touchdown possession for Hooker from a Crescent perspective is that you had him in 3rd and forever. You had that reverse play on 3rd and long. You let it out the gate with Neville. You didn't tackle, gave him the first down, then they went and scored.
Bowers hesitant as he tries to hit the gap. 2nd down and 7, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, and still sitting down on the ground is Hunter Bowers. They bring up 3rd down and 7.
See, now the Booker's answered. They started playing some defense. Now they've scored, and now they're only down by 1 score. You're having to use Hunter Bowers more. And this is where, if his ankle is gimpy, if it's not 100%, having to use it more and more and more as the game goes on, you'll start seeing the wear of it. Now you're in a big 3rd and long against that man coverage for Hooker. We'll see which way Crescent goes.
Bowers lost his shoe on that play, gets it back. 3rd down and 7. Tigers need the Bulldog 46. Bowers wants to throw for it. 4-man rush goes downfield. It's incomplete. Tiger not within 5 yards of that intended pass. Falls incomplete. 4th down and 7. Tigers in danger of punting for the 3rd time in this ballgame.
And again, you're going to have to do, unlike you've had to do all year. Now you've had a good defense all year if you're Crescent. There's no doubt about that. You only gave up 11 points a game throughout the regular season, but usually you've been able to rely on your offense to regain momentum in games this year. When you've been challenged, your offense with Hunter Bowers and Buzz Emery and all those guys will go right down the field, regain momentum like we saw in the 3rd quarter a week ago. But this time the Tigers didn't. See if that defense for Crescent can bail them out now.
Bowers' 3rd punt. Fielded inside the 10. Here comes the return out to the 15, far side 20, 25, 30, far boundary 40, and driven out of bounds somewhere before the 45-yard line. Bulldog bench. Bulldog fans across the way, feeling the momentum as we have 2:25 to play until halftime. Before that punt there, Bowers averaging 38.5 yards per punt. This one a nice return, though, for the Bulldogs, and they'll have a first down at 10.
You know, you have nerves to start this game, and then you get a 2-score lead right off the bat. That takes your nerves away, so you start feeling good, and then you don't score on a couple possessions, 3 in a row to be exact, and then you give up a touchdown and a long punt return. Now all of a sudden those nerves are back. So you can kind of see that little extra energy on the sideline and just some nerves going here. You need a good defensive stand to stop all that.
Short pickup of 1.5 yards here by the Bulldogs on first down. Tanner McBee, the junior running back. Emery on the tackle.
Look who it is again on the sideline, the calming influence for the Crescent Tigers. Phil, I've said it several times. You see Coach Booth going to work again, just trying to get everything calm down there and calm everybody down.
Yeah, he does a great job. I mean, him and Coach Fisher work very well together. That's one thing I love about Coach Fisher. Very secure guy. Takes a good, secure coach to allow that to happen.
Second down 9, handoff left side. Barrios trying to get something going as Emery tackles him from behind for a 1-yard pickup. So here comes a third down and 8 play. Minute 40 until halftime. Tigers trying to keep the Bulldogs.
Keep in mind, it was a 3rd and long last possession, trying to keep the Bulldogs from getting another first down and get across midfield. Remember, it was a 3rd down and long on the last possession that Hooker got the first down on the reverse. So 3rd down and long is something they've been able to execute.
I'll hand it off, trying to get to it, going backwards, but making momentum here in the Tiger territory. And down at the 48, 1 yard shy of the first down. They need the 47. Obviously, this will be 4-down territory for them as we go about to go under a minute.
Remember that 3rd down and long that they had the reverse, and they was 4th and short. We're talking, well, should they go for it? They did. They got it.
Yeah.
Exact same scenario. 3rd and long. They run the ball, a little sweep play. Now it's 4th and short again, and they're going for it again. This time with a little bit better field position.
Before they do that, we'll take a timeout. 4th down and 1 when we resume action. Crescent Tigers 14, Hooker Bulldogs 7. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by the Christensen Media Group. Smart, efficient marketing. The Crescent Co-op, serving our community since 1949. Bostic Services Corporation, an equal opportunity employer. Boutique Therapy, rehabbing your wardrobe. CE&L Services, your Oklahoma transport company. Emmy Ironworks, custom work made just for you. Coffee Barn, every flavor combo with the perfect blend. Don's Drugstore, serving Crescent for over 40 years. RDT Trucking, go Tigers!
4th down and 1 for the Bulldogs from the Tigers 48. They need the 47. Handoff stuffed at midfield, and now the Crescent Tigers will have 40 some odd seconds to get back into the end zone here before the Pioneer halftime show.
Well, and you talked about just a minute ago, so many times your offense has regained momentum by going back and scoring after you feel like you've lost momentum in the game, and this time you needed to rely on your defense. And Crescent with a big 3 and out, 4 and out I should say. Hooker went for it. You don't get the ball first to start the second half if you're Crescent. You have a big arm in Hunter Bowers. I think you go ahead and attack here.
Loss of 3, tackle by Portwood. First down and 10 for the Tigers from midfield. Bowers surveys, wants to throw, wants it all downfield, has a man open. It's incomplete at the 5-yard line.
Well, you had a wheel route out of the backfield. Then you had 2 vertical routes to that side of the field. So you take a linebacker with the wheel route, and then you take a safety with one of the verticals, and then you just get man-to-man coverage on the corner, and you just try to hit a big one. It was there.
Yeah, the Tigers.
It was there.
Second down and 10. Bowers comes near side. Caught at the 42, to the 40, down at the 39. First down, Tigers. 26.8 seconds.
A great job of getting the first down.
Carson Heskett with the reception.
Yeah, Carson Heskett, once he caught the ball, I was thinking go out of bounds, get the first down, go out of bounds, and once he cut it back in, you're like, well, he needs to get the first down, and he did that. Crescent's able to call a timeout now and game plan what they want to do.
We will keep it here with 26.8 seconds to play until the Pioneer halftime show. We are Oklahoma, and we are filled with Pioneer spirit. The people you meet are genuine, proud, confident, hard to keep down. We're family. We're in this together, and we know it. Thank you for being Oklahoma. Thank you for your Pioneer spirit. Coming up, Pioneer halftime show. Class 6A state championship, Division I and Division II. Class 5A state championship, Class 4A state championship, and Class C state championship scores. We'll have state semifinal scores as well in Class 3A, 2A, and A. All coming up during the Pioneer halftime show. We're set to resume action here. Tigers will have it first down and 10 at the Bulldog 39-yard line. 3 receivers in the formation, 2 to the far side. Emery on the right side of Hunter Bowers, the quarterback, in the shotgun. Takes the snap, wants to throw, looks near side, throws downfield, and this one's going to be incomplete. Pass intended for Bailey Babb, and Hunter and Bailey having a hard time getting on the same page here on their few passes, as he was kind of bracketed with 2 or 3 Bulldogs around him.
Yeah, trying to come back here to this short side of the field, and the problem with that is there's less area to cover. I mean, it's simple math. When there's less area to cover for safety and corner on that side, it makes it easier on them. So now you put trips to the short side, empty backfield, 5 wide receivers.
Second down and 10, caught at the 32 to the 30, trying to get out of bounds. Nope. Cannot get there. It is a first down, so the clock stops, or should stop. Now it does, with 13.2 seconds. Tristan Rolls on the reception.
You're left with calling a timeout here and then taking 2 shots in the end zone. Crescent does have 1 timeout left after they take this one, so they could throw it somewhere halfway from the end zone and call a timeout, but I think your percentages are better if you just go ahead and heave it in the end zone twice and see if you can come away with one of them.
13-yard reception for Tristan Rolls, and Crescent Tigers now with 111 yards of offense. They average 443, and unless something big happens in the second half, Tigers will not get that. Of course, it's not about stats and numbers. It's all about that score on the scoreboard.
It is. If you could score again here, remember last week it was a close game, and then Crescent scored twice.
Yeah.
In really unconventional ways right before halftime. Now OCA scored as well, but you felt like those 2 scores right before half is what really swung the game in Crescent's favor and gave them a lead that they could play with in the second half. So if you could score here and take a 2-score lead into halftime, that would be huge.
Tigers passing game only 3 of 11 for 38 yards.
Gotta get that man coverage that Hooker plays. It's tough to throw on because you're just one-on-one and your receiver has to beat his defender. Hooker has good athletes on the back end.
First down and 10 from the Bulldog 26-yard line. Empty backfield, 5 receivers. Flag thrown.
And we're going to have to reset the clock. It went down to 11.2. They're going to have to reset it to 13.1.
Yeah, Crescent Tigers with the 5-yard penalty will be there.
Coach Booth wants 14 seconds put back. I don't think you're going to get that.
Second penalty for the Tigers for 20 yards now.
13 seconds, we'll put it back on. Okay.
Yeah, there's your 13 seconds. It was 13.1 when Crescent called the timeout, so I don't know if they know if they can put the .1 back on.
Oh, it's 2017, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. 13.2.
13.2.
I think Crescent got a 1/10 of a second extra there out of that whole ordeal.
First down and 15. Same formation prior to the penalty. Here we go. Bowers looks far side, throws far side, wide open, caught at the 25 and quickly out of bounds. at the 24. I thought they cheated him a yard, maybe.
They cheated him at least a second and a half, too.
The clock, I've noticed that a couple of times.
When Rolls went out of bounds, just Roll went out of bounds, it was at about 10.4. And so the clock step kept running even after the referees waved their arms to shut it down. I don't think you have time. You got to throw it in the end zone.
Second down and 8, but yeah, from the 24, you got to look end zone. Bowers throws it, end zone. Heskett, almost a one-handed catch at the 2-yard line. Tigers catch that. They call a timeout, set up one more play, but it does fall incomplete. So here we go. 4.5 seconds will be a third down play.
Keep in mind, you cannot end a half on a defensive penalty. So if you do throw it in the end zone and you catch Hooker in a situation they're not happy with and they commit a defensive foul, Crescent will get another play at it. So
possibly the final play. Bowers throws it. Heskett intercepted in the end zone.
There's that guy, that Swiss Army knife, Vargas. He is the Mr. Do-It-All. He doesn't do any one thing all the time, but he does everything most of the time for them. He does it all for them, a little bit of everything.
The interception, just a third thrown this year by Hunter Bowers, but that's one of those useless interceptions at the half.
You know, you don't get this far by being the type of team that when faced with adversity, you just give into it and go home. And when Hooker got down 2 scores early, and it looked like Crescent could do anything and everything they wanted to, they didn't panic.
No.
And they came right back. They scored. They started playing defense. And now, getting the ball to start the second half, it's only 14-7. So although Crescent has a lead, both teams, I think, feel okay going into the halftime locker room.
Tigers going inside that locker room right now with a touchdown lead, 14-7. We'll take a timeout here. When we come back, it's the Pioneer Halftime Show. Crescent Tigers 14, Hooker Bulldogs 7. This is Crescent Tiger Football Class A State Semifinal.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, as mobile as you are. Massage by Bev, a tranquil experience through caring hands. Book your appointment today. El Palmo Restaurant, Logan County's best Mexican. Commercial construction, handling your underground utility needs since 1999. Impressed & Company, the place to get all your Crescent Tiger gear. Crow Creek Market, Crescent's best soup, sandwiches, and burgers. The Crescent Tag Agency, serving Crescent since 1974. Eagle Eye Electric, serving Crescent and surrounding areas for all your electrical needs. Myers Farm Boar Goats, proudly supporting Crescent football. Go Tigers!
Ranger Field on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University here in Alva, Oklahoma. It is the Pioneer Halftime Show. Alongside Kel Evans, Craig Fleck, Bill Nichols, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Evans. So you're settling into stream a movie on Saturday night. That's tomorrow. When your video starts buffering and keeps buffering, then it plays a little bit, and then it stops and buffers some more. It's time to do something about it, right? So where do you go when you need the fastest internet on the area's most reliable network? Fiber internet from Pioneer offers gigabit speeds. That's 1,000 megabits per second, up to 100 times faster than the national average. Something no other provider in our area can say. Kiss buffering goodbye with Pioneer Internet. We welcome you inside the Pioneer Halftime Show. Crescent Tigers in the Class A State Semifinal lead the Hooker Bulldogs in a close one, 14-7. Tigers jumped out to a 14-0 lead before Bulldogs were able to get their touchdown. This is the Kevin McGuire CPA scoring summary of the first half. Crescent Tigers on their opening drive go 58 yards. Took them 11 plays to do it. They took 4 minutes and 36 seconds off the game clock. It was capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by Dylan Emery. And so with 7:24 to play in the first quarter, Crescent Tigers had a 7-0 lead. About 3 minutes later, it was the Crescent defense and Jacob Musil getting into the end zone on a 25 interception pick six. Musil untouched into the end zone, and with 4:22 left in the first quarter. Tigers had a 14-0 lead. That would be the end of the first quarter. Bulldogs would get the only score in the second quarter when they went on a 91-yard drive. Took them 13 plays to do it. Took 5 minutes and 40 seconds off on a very nice drive by the Bulldogs. It was a touchdown pass. With Donovan Yarbrough, the quarterback for the Bulldogs, hooking up with Dawson Metcalf. 6'2", 185-pound senior with the touchdown reception. It's 14-7, your halftime score. Take a timeout, come back with more. This is the Pioneer Halftime Show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire, CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by Advanced Medical Equipment, professional and caring service. Horn Furniture, custom farm-style furniture. If you can dream it, we can build it. Propane Sales, over 50 years strong. The First Baptist Church, shining the light of Jesus on Crescent for more than 100 years. Gage's Steakhouse, Guthrie's best kept secret. Ross Nealis Services, LLC. Hot Shot Trucking, DC-90 Oilfield Services, Contract Pumping and Production Services, Abernathy Aaron Funeral Home, locally owned and operated. Small Town Spice Pepper Butter, homemade and hometown strong.
Welcome back, Pioneer Halftime Show. Alva, Oklahoma, Class A state semifinal action. Crescent Tigers with a 14-7 lead over the Hooker Bulldogs. Time now for some scores around the state of Oklahoma. Half the classes in playing their state championship game tonight, including 6A Division I in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Owasso Rams, 11-1, their only loss this year, coming to the hands of the undefeated Tulsa Union Redskins. That game being played in Tulsa tonight. And Owasso right now in the second quarter, last score reporting, shutting out Tulsa Union by a score of 14-0. We knew that one would be a good one, and that one is not disappointing in Tulsa. Also playing in Tulsa at Jenks High School, it's a 6A Division II football game. Booker T. Washington taking on Bixby. Bixby, with a surprise win a couple weeks ago over Midwest City in the semifinals, is tied with the Hornets 7-7. That game last reported to be in the second quarter. In Class 5A football, the state championship game being played in Yukon, Oklahoma tonight. The Carl Albert Titans had a 14-0 lead. It's halftime, and Carl Albert now has a 21-7 halftime lead in the Class 5A state championship game. In Class 4A football, it's halftime. The Ada Cougars in the finals against Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall trying to go 14-0. So far, they lead 14-0 at halftime. Some Class 3A state semifinal games. Sulphur is playing Beggs. Sulphur with a 3-point lead, 21-18. And at halftime, John Marshall Bears lead the Jones Longhorns. Score there, 7-0. Jones Longhorns right now 12-0, but getting all they can want from the John Marshall Bears, led by former Oklahoma State Cowboy All-American Rashawn Woods. In Class 2A football, those games will be played tomorrow. That's Alva taking on Millwood and Davis taking on Washington. Class A football, of course, Crescent leading Hooker 14-7. The other semifinal game, Afton leading Thomas Fay Custer at halftime. Score 28-7. If Afton moves on to the state championship and Crescent can hold on to this lead, we think that game would be played in the Tulsa area. In Class B football, state semifinal action, Depew and Laverne playing. Laverne trying to stay undefeated. Depew also undefeated, but right now it's Laverne leading Depew by a score of 20-14. The other Class B state semifinal game, Shattuck and Davenport. Shattuck on top of Davenport. Score there is 22-8. And then the Class C state championship game tonight, Tipton big on over Palm Creek at halftime. Score there is 36-8. So some great semifinal games and some great state championship games, as you expect once you get to high school football in the month of December. Of course, the big score here tonight, Crescent Tigers here at the Pioneer Halftime Show lead the Hooker Bulldogs by a score of 14-7. Take another timeout. This is the Pioneer Crescent Tiger Halftime Show.
Crescent Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oilfield Services. Tiger Proud. Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing. Interior and exterior care for your vehicle. Oki Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service. Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers. Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop. Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966. Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs. Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
And welcome back. Pioneer halftime show. Here's the Crescent Tigers taking on the Hooker Bulldogs here in the Class A state semifinals on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University here in Alva. Score at halftime, Crescent Tigers on top 14-7. Of course, it looked like it was going to be a bit more than that when it started out. Crescent scores on their first drive, and then immediately after that, a pick six puts them back into the end zone. But Hooker able to get back into this ball game. When we looked at the numbers at the end of the first quarter, Hooker was at -3 yards of total offense. They end the half with 106 compared to the 118 yards for the Crescent Tigers. Hooker doing that on 28 plays, that's 3.8 yards per play. Crescent Tigers 32 plays, that's 3.7 yards per play. 72 yards through the air for the Hooker Bulldogs. Of course, a couple of those were on screen plays. They ended up going for a lot of yardage. Nothing really down the field, a lot of short yardage passes that have broken loose for the Hooker Bulldogs. For Crescent, 45 yards through the air, 4 of 14 passing, 11.3 yards per completion, no touchdowns, and an interception. On the ground, Hookers run the ball for 34 yards compared to the Tigers' 73. 17 attempts for the Bulldogs, 18 for Crescent. 2 yards per carry for Hooker, 4.1 for the Tigers. Through the air, it has been a story where Hooker has spread it out between several different receivers, but it has been Carson Heskett and Tristan Rolls getting all 4 receptions, 2 apiece for the Crescent Tigers. Time possession split almost right down the middle, and 1 turnover apiece between the Hooker Bulldogs and the Crescent Tigers. Of course, Hooker's was more costly as it ended up going into the end zone. First downs, 8 for Hooker, 9 for Crescent. Third down conversions, 2 of 6 for the Bulldogs, 3 of 7 for Crescent, 1 of 2 for the Bulldogs on fourth down. Hunter Bowers, 4 of 14 passing for 45 yards and 1 interception. Of course, the ankle has been an issue. Also, the swirling winds, as the winds will come up and be very strong and then will suddenly die out of nowhere. And that too has played havoc with the passing game early in this one. Dylan Emery, 10 carries for 55 yards, 5.5 yards per carry and a touchdown. Jacob Musel, 2 carries for 12 yards. Bailey Babb, 2 carries for 8 yards, that's 4 yards a carry. And Hunter Bowers, 4 carries for -2 yards. He really has not gotten going in the rushing game. On the defensive side, leading tackler for the Crescent Tigers, Dylan Emery, with 5 tackles, including 1.5 tackles for loss. Jacob Musel, 3.5 tackles, including 1 tackle for loss. But it's been Matt Portwood with his 2.5 tackle for loss, once again stepping up big on the defensive side of the ball for the Crescent Tigers. As once again, your score here, as we look at this one, Crescent 14, Hooker 7. This is the Pioneer halftime show here, Crescent Tiger Football 2017.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by the Christensen Media Group, smart, efficient marketing. The Crescent Co-op, serving our community since 1949. Bostic Services Corporation, an equal opportunity employer. Boutique Therapy, rehabbing your wardrobe. CE&L Services, your Oklahoma transport company. Emmy Ironworks, custom work made just for you. Coffee Barn, every flavor combo with the perfect blend. Don's Drugstore, serving Crescent for over 40 years. RDT Trucking, go Tigers!
And we're back as we are here on the Pioneer Halftime Show. As Chris pulling out his sheet here.
Yeah, how does Pioneer show our commitment to our communities? Well, they have more local retail stores than any other provider, with dozens of offices in town from Crescent to Woodward and everywhere in between. Visit their local store today and find the full list at gopioneer.com. Chris Evans, Craig Fleck, Casey Porter, Phil Nichols, and Cal Evans with you on this Friday night. Were you in here when I was going over the football scores?
I just caught the tail end of it, so okay. I got the 5A score, and I think I heard that Owasso was up.
Yeah, Owasso leading Union 14-0, and Booker T and Bixby tied 7-7.
Still gonna be right.
And Carl Everett leads 21. I don't care who wins between Owasso and Union normally, but since Phil picked Owasso, I picked Union.
Not only did he pick Owasso this week on the show,
yeah.
He picked Owasso like back in June.
Yeah, yeah. It's
gonna be bad,
just simply because Phil would be right, and Phil's been wrong like 9 out of 10 times. But that one time when he is right, he will remind you all the time.
Well, if there's one horse you're going to back for Owasso, it's Bill Blankenship. That's a horse you're going to get on just because of the closet full of state championship rings that he brings to the table. And bringing that experience to Owasso, he's instantly turned that squad around. So, yes, Phil will be right, and that's always a bad thing. But
please Union come back. I cannot go through a week or month, a year with Owasso being state champion.
Chris is over here. You guys can't see it, but he's making the U with his hands.
That, and he's giving us the Crescent Ric Flair. Woo!
No, that's Phil. That was Phil. Yeah, that was Phil. Neither team has made their way onto the field yet.
Chris was given the Tulsa Union U.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Union Redskins need to come back. That was a good ball game earlier this year, double overtime. 45-42, I think, was the score there. But we got about 30 seconds left in this segment, Casey. Any concerns if you're a Crescent fan, Crescent Tiger? Lots of concerns?
Lots of concerns. Quarterback Bowers is not healthy. I mean, he's playing on pure guts. He is a great leader. He's not able to cut on that ankle. I think that's pretty obvious. So if you eliminate a large part of the quarterback run game in this Crescent offense, the way that Booker plays defense, the way that Hooker plays defense with the 8 and 9 guys in the box, they can get the run game shut down. And then you saw what they were able to do, Craig, when they had good field position. They're able to run all those little flare patterns to their backs, and then run all the counters off of that, and then eventually, run a reverse and go right down the field. So this is an offense from Hooker that can score.
Looking at it, though, from an offensive perspective for Crescent, they had a lot of success with Buzz Emery early on in that first half and then seemed to go away from it.
Mm-hmm.
If they stick with it, if they stick with going with Emery and Musel in between the tackles with that big offensive line, why did they move away from it, and do you think they're going to move back to
Well, for one, obviously whenever you run the ball as well as Crescent did on their first possession, you go right down the field and you go score. It tempts you to say, well, we run the ball, now here they're going to play up, and they play man coverage anyways.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give them to think run, and then we're going to be able to hit a big one. You know, that's how it works together, the running game, the deep passing game.
And to that point, they were playing 9, sometimes 10 men in the box.
So then you try to hit that. The problem was then on second down, now what do you do? And so they weren't able to get the first down on the next 2 and sometimes 3 plays. That was the issue to it. So you're going to have to throw the ball some to back off that Hooker defense to get it to where you can go back and then run it again. You're not just going to be able to hand the ball off to Buzz Emery and win this game. Hooker is too good in their 8 and 9-man boxes to do that again. So you're going to have to complete some passes to have a balanced offense. You're going to have some balance to win. So I don't have a problem with that perspective, but what's going to happen is you're going to have to regain momentum, and the way that you do that, you do not get the ball to start the second half. Hooker gets the ball to start the second half. So you're going to have a good kick cover, a 3 and out, get good field position, and then again take that 2-score lead again.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take another timeout here on the Pioneer Halftime Show. You're listening to Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, as mobile as you are. Massage by Bev, a tranquil experience through caring hands. Book your appointment today. El Palmo Restaurant, Logan County's best Mexican. Commercial construction, handling your underground utility needs since 1999. Impressed & Company, the place to get all your Crescent Tiger gear. Crow Creek Market, Crescent's best soup, sandwiches, and burgers. The Crescent Tag Agency, serving Crescent since 1974. Eagle Eye Electric, serving Crescent and surrounding areas for all your electrical needs. Myers Farm Boar Goats, proudly supporting Crescent football. Go Tigers!
Welcome back. Pioneer Halftime Show, Northwestern Oklahoma State University here in Alva, Oklahoma. Beautiful campus, beautiful field, beautiful press box. Great host here in Alva. This is a town, Casey, I was talking about it in the pregame show, but a town that just behind their athletics or their football teams in the state semifinals right now, but it's a town that rallies behind their athletics.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
College.
No doubt about it. When you win national titles like they were doing, or they've done, you know, and then you put all the money into the facility here on the, you know, the building on the north end, and then this fantastic press box. You know, it just gives you the feeling like if this is the caliber of player that you are in high school and you want to play college football, and this is the caliber of college football you're capable of playing, this is where you should come and play, right? Because on Saturday nights, or Saturday afternoons or Saturdays, whatever, it's really cool because this whole place is packed.
Yeah, and just to our left, it's the baseball field. Has like this football facility has seen tremendous upgrades, and brand new press box over there. I don't know how new the outfield wall is, but last time I was in here, that wasn't here. Yeah. So it's just a great facility. They have the baseball lights on over there as well. So just a great atmosphere here, and there's still plenty of seats here, but this place can hold a few more thousand people that are here tonight. So this is a perfect size venue.
It is
crowd-wise
for this, yeah.
And you're close to the action, so just a great atmosphere. Again, Pioneer Halftime Show, Crescent 14, Hooker 7. When we come back, it's the kickoff of the second half as the Tigers try to get to the Class A state championship game. Back after this is the Pioneer Halftime Show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by Advanced Medical Equipment, professional and caring service. Horn Furniture, custom farm-style furniture. If you can dream it, we can build it. Propane Sales, over 50 years strong. The First Baptist Church, shining the light of Jesus on Crescent for more than 100 years. Gage's Steakhouse, Guthrie's best kept secret. Ross Nealis Services, LLC, Hot Shot Trucking, DC90 Oilfield Services, Contract Pumping and Production Services, Abernathy Aaron Funeral Home, locally owned and operated. Small Town Spice Pepper Butter, homemade and hometown strong.
Alva, Oklahoma, on campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University. Cale Evans on the camera. I'm Casey Porter. Chris Evans, your play-by-play guy, will join us here in a second. On the stats, Greg Fleck, and then our sideline roaming reporter, Phil Nichols, on the floor. And Phil, you just got to see Crescent take the field. Did not have momentum going into the halftime locker room. Do you feel any panic or any kind of lost momentum at all down there?
Nah, just the opposite, really. A lot of energy, a lot of positiveness, and I think they went in. They feel like they've made some adjustments, got a good game plan. I look for Crescent to come out extremely fired up and really do something defensively and get an early score in the second half.
First part of that's to get a good kick cover, and force Hooker not to have good field position where they can't really open up their playbook.
Right.
Crescent Tigers kick off. It's a sky kick to the far side. Fill at the 35 and to the 38-yard line. Bulldog was able to avoid the first would-be tackle by Josiah Lovett, but Tigers able to fill their gap. And the Bulldogs will take over first down and 10.
To your point, Phil, I think we're going to tell how this second half is going to go here in the first couple possessions. If Crescent comes out, gets a 3 and out, then goes and scores, I think that's a pretty good indicator how this is going to go.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, obviously we got to look at Hooker. I mean, these guys got a lot of momentum going in the second half, as you say, Casey. So this is going to tell a lot about them right here.
First down and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Ball's on the far hash mark. Little handoff. Is that Barrios trying to get to the line of scrimmage? He does that. No pickup. Second down and 10. Good start for the Tigers on the first snap of the third quarter.
Yeah, that's how similar those two types are. That's McBee. Barrios and McBee look almost identical in the backfield, that two-headed monster. And that counterplay that all these teams are running nowadays, especially Hooker, has not been a good play for them tonight. So Crescent obviously has seen it all year. They've seen it on film for this Hooker team, and they know how to defend it, and they've done a good job of it. They've gotten Hooker into third and long. That hasn't been the problem. The problem's been letting them off the hook.
Dakota Chronister on the tackle now. Second down and 10. Trying to run it. Ball's fumbled by Yarbrough.
Yes, sir.
And he fumbles it, and the Tigers have it. Buzz Emery with it.
How about that, Phil? You need a big momentum shift. So what do? You go to your big senior, one of the leaders on your team, Buzz Emery, to make a huge play.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about, Casey. That got to make a statement early in this second half, and they definitely just did it there. Now they got to come out and put it in the end zone.
Normally, I'd like to say you smell a deep one here because you have the sudden change, you have the defense scrambling around, but as well as you ran the ball in the first half, as poorly as you threw it, you'd like to just go right back to ground and pound and go score.
Tigers take over at the 36-yard line. Great field position, got to cash in. Handoff Buzz, left side. Has a gap, 35 far side to the 30, to the 25-yard line. 11-yard pickup for Buzz Emery. Trying to run him here in the second half into a state championship game.
You can feel the momentum shifting back now to the black and orange of the Crescent Tigers. A huge turnover. You got a good kick cover, trying to complete that circuit. You had special teams and a great defensive stand. Now you're trying to cap it off and complete that circuit with your offense scoring off of all of it.
11-yard pickup. 11 carries now for Buzz for 66 yards. Back to work he goes as he gets to the 20 and down about the 18-yard line. Another 7-yard pickup for Buzz.
And Phil talked about halftime adjustments. Is there any secret to what they were? Play good defense and then obviously run the ball with Buzz Emery, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bottom line is we just got to line up and just keep doing what we're doing. This offensive line at Crescent is overpowering. I just make them stop us.
7-yard pickup, two halfbacks, possibly leading the way for Buzz. Yeah, this time on the right side, cuts it to the middle of the field across the 15 to the 13. The Tigers need it 3. They give 5 all the way down to the 13-yard line. First down, Buzz Emery.
And to your point, Crescent needs to make this a game about who is going to win the battle in the trenches. This has to be a game of whoever wins the battle in the trenches wins. It doesn't necessarily need to be a skill player versus skill player position game because Hooker is very good in the skill position. So if Crescent does what they're doing right now, stop the run and then run the ball, make it a game about who wins the battle in the trenches, the Tigers will win.
10 Bulldogs in the box. Tigers still going to run in there. Yeah, Bulldogs sniffed that one out. There's going to be a loss on the play. Remember, it's a loss of 3. Remember, Tigers took advantage with the pick 6. This is the latest turnover. Crescent trying to put more points off the turnovers.
How many times have you been able to say all year that, you know, we're under 10 minutes to go third quarter, and this Crescent Tiger offense has only scored 1 time? That just goes to show you how physical this Hooker team is. As undersized as they are, you can see their defensive line, not very big. They average right about 210 pounds, but they've done a good job holding up.
Second down and 13 after the 3-yard loss. Bowers will run for it, pops it outside, trying to get the edge, and cannot get there as he's tackled for back to the line of scrimmage. So they'll bring up 3rd down and 13.
And the counter play again. I don't know, I sound like a broken record, but in all this modern day offense, that's still the best play, the most popular play for teams to run. And this time, with all the success you've had with Emery, you fake it to him to the right, then your quarterback pulls it out, runs it back to the left, but Hooker did a great job leveraging, and I think we saw that Hunter Bowers just doesn't have that normal burst on that ankle like he normally does.
Pick up a 3, 3rd down and 10. Yeah, he's been limited with that ankle since that ankle injury last week.
Got to watch Heskett at tight end here.
Bowers wants to throw. Trying to find Heskett, but it goes underneath his head to Musil, and he's into the end zone. Jacob Musil with a touchdown from 13 yards out, and Tigers back up 2 scores.
Well, and if Phil is anywhere close, he needs to give Coach Booth and Coach Fisher a high 5 for that offensive possession. The way they went back to Buzz Emery, and then you clear out the secondary by releasing your tight end Heskett. That takes everybody with them. Then you just slip your fullback Musil out into the flats. Nobody there to cover him. That was X and O fantastic. Absolutely great job.
Rose trying to make it a 21-7 lead. Snap, hold, kick, up, and it's good. Tigers 21, Bulldogs 7, 8:18 to play, 3rd quarter. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire, CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by Advanced Medical Equipment, professional and caring service. Horn Furniture, custom farm-style furniture. If you can dream it, we can build it. Propane Sales, over 50 years strong. The First Baptist Church, shining the light of Jesus on Crescent for more than 100 years. Gage's Steakhouse, Guthrie's best kept secret. Ross Nealis Services, LLC. Hot Shot Trucking, DC-90 Oilfield Services, Contract Pumping and Production Services, Abernathy Aaron Funeral Home, locally owned and operated. Small Town Spice Pepper Butter, homemade and hometown strong.
2 turnovers by Hooker, 14 points for the Tigers.
Yep, and Crescent only has 21, so obviously that has been a huge factor. And we just mentioned a minute ago, Crescent did not have the momentum going into halftime. Coming out, didn't have the ball. And we said that, you know, the first couple possessions of Crescent can get a 3-and-out, then go score, would go a long ways to determining who's going to win this game. That has happened.
Sky kick to the near side. Bounces, ball's loose again. Tigers have it, and they pick it up. You cannot advance the football, but the Tigers have it, and that was a big play last week in Edmond in the victory over OCA. Sky kick, and the Tigers filled the loose ball at the 31-yard line. Tiger offense back on the field.
Boy, you talk about all the momentum Hooker had going into the halftime locker room. Phil talked about how calm the Tigers were coming out, and the adjustments that they were very confident in that they had made at halftime, and they have certainly made them. Already scored once, now looking to score again and take control of this game.
Jacob Johnson on the recovery for the Tigers, and now the Tiger offense back out there. 1 receiver to the near side, 2 halfbacks. Dylan Emery will lead the way for Bowers on the right side, as Bowers will take it from the 31-yard line to the 26-yard line, a 5-yard pickup. First down's been good for the Tigers most of the night.
Yeah, and they ran that counter play with Bowers on that last possession and forced him to run sideways a little bit and then have to cut it back. which he's not really capable of doing right now on that ankle. So this time you just run the lead play and just let him run straight forward, where it doesn't really cause any stress on that ankle. And he's able to get a little bit of lean and get you about 5 yards and stay ahead of the chains.
2nd down and 5 as we go under 7:40 play here in the 3rd quarter. 2 halfbacks leading the way for Dylan Emery, and Dylan is stuffed for a loss back at the 29-yard line, loss of 3. That scoring summary brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. The Crescent Tigers with a 13-yard touchdown reception. Bowers to Musel as the Tigers go 36 yards in 6 plays. Take 2 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock. Makes it now a 21-7 ball game. Again, brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes.
Last time Crescent was in this position, they attached Carson Heskett at tight end and then slipped the fullback out into the backfield. Heskett is attached again. See what the Tigers go to.
3rd down and 8. Tigers need the 21 for a 1st down. Bowers mishandles the snap, picks it up, and is hit for a loss on the play all the way back to the 38-yard line. Loss of 8, 4th down.
So what that turnover has turned into, instead of probably points, you probably punt this thing, and not because of the field position part of it, but just simply because it's too far to go. You have not shown the ability to complete a deep ball tonight. It's 4th down and almost 20, about 4th and 16 or 17. And you played good defense, and you've shown, especially Hooker, when they have not had good field position, hasn't run their whole playbook. So you try to play the field position here.
Tigers to punt for the 4th time here tonight. Hunter averaging 40 yards per punt. Obviously, you don't want 40 here. And now the play clock's down 11 seconds, now 10 seconds, and Crescent's nowhere near getting a play. So they're going to, I would think, take a delay here and save that timeout. It's only 5 yards. Bowers needs more space anyway, but no, the Tigers do take a timeout. They'll take a timeout with them. 5:52 to play, 3rd quarter. Crescent 21, Hooker 7. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oilfield Services. Tiger Proud. Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing. Interior and exterior care for your vehicle. Oki Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service. Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers. Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop. Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966. Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs. Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
Hunter Bowers punt formation. There was action here in Alva, Oklahoma. 4th down and 18 from the 38-yard line. Bowers was in this area earlier in the game and punted it 3 yards deep. That's offsides, right? Bowers with a little practice pooch here. And bounced at the 4 and would have died at the 2-yard line. But it will not count.
Gosh.
It is offside.
I think you start thinking about going for it now. You're inside the 35-yard line. If you kick it in the end zone, you're only gaining about 13 yards, and it makes getting the 1st down that much more feasible.
I would go for it.
Yeah. You have a lot less to lose, and a lot more, it's harder to pin it when you're this close, too.
Note I have 0 career victories on my Bowers. Will try it again. It's a nice high kick. Out of bounds, though. And so
that worked out pretty well, though. He's going to start walking back forwards, and nobody actually knows where this ball went.
It's a huge guess is all that is. It's going to be right on the line, though, no matter what it is.
Yeah, it's not going to be the 19.5.
No, it'll be right on. A punt can never go out at the half-yard line. They will mark it at the 19-yard officially.
Another big turning point, and, Crescent had a big 3-and-out in the first half after Hooker had drawn within 1 score and was threatening to tie the game. Now, Hooker's gotten a good defensive stand after a turnover where the game really could have went sideways for them. Let's see if they can play some offense.
Handoff right side, stuffed. Boy, the Tiger defense coming out strong here in this third quarter. On the tackle for the Crescent Tigers, Caven Green. They call him Caveman. Caven Green, jersey number 50 for the Tigers.
Hunter Bowers is not out there playing defense right now for Crescent. Instead, Jackson Taylor is manning his outside linebacker spot. So, that, like we said, having a lead, being able to play with the lead has allowed you to kind of dictate how much you can or have to play Bowers on that gimpy ankle.
Loss of 3, second down and 13 from the 16-yard line. Ball's in the middle of the field. Another little reverse here. And one guy at the 5 makes one tackle. There's a hold coming as he's tackled out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Tackle, or on the carry there was Vargas. We'll see the penalty officially. We'll see if Crescent wants to accept it or not.
I would not think so. It's half the distance of the goal from the 9, which would only be a 4.5-yard penalty, and Hooker would get the down back.
Yeah.
So I think it's a no-brainer. You decline that, make it 3rd and forever. And again, that's the reverse that we saw them have on the 2 third-down plays in the first half success with. And Phil talked about halftime adjustments, and Crescent's obviously adjusted to that counter, that reverse play that Hooker had success with in the first half, did not have success with on that play.
It is declined, and so now the Bulldogs facing a 3rd down and 19 from the 10-yard line. This is why you do punt earlier when you were Crescent instead of maybe going for it on 4th down and 12.
Because Hooker's offense has not been good in bad field position. When they've played decent offense, it's been when they've had good enough field position to open the playbook.
Bulldogs break huddle. Here we go. From the 10-yard line, they need the 29.5-yard. Yarbrough fakes, goes downfield, center of the field. It's caught at the 40, 45 midfield to the 45, 40, 35, 30 near sideline, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, 90-yard touchdown reception for the Bulldogs, and looks like might have got away with a push, Case.
Yeah, I think he did, and it's that dreaded underthrown deep ball where the defender continues to release downfield. The offensive player is able to identify where the ball's at, cut back underneath the defensive player, and make a play. And Dawson Metcalf is just a superior athlete and just a great player. He's been doing it all year. And another 3rd down and long where you had Hooker trapped and you had him way backed up and couldn't get him off the field. Here's that swinging gate.
And they do snap the ball. They throw it into the end zone, and it's batted down nicely by the Tiger secondary. Kind of a, I don't know, it's awful gamble here in the semifinals. But now the Tigers still lead by 8, 21-13. 4:16 to play, 3rd quarter, timeout from Alva. This is Class A state semifinal action, Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by the Christensen Media Group, smart, efficient marketing. The Crescent Co-op, serving our community since 1949. Bostic Services Corporation, an equal opportunity employer. Boutique Therapy, rehabbing your wardrobe. CE&L Services, your Oklahoma transport company. Emmy Ironworks, custom work made just for you. Coffee Barn, every flavor combo with the perfect blend. Don's Drugstore, serving Crescent for over 40 years. RDT Trucking, go Tigers!
Hooker Bulldogs back on the scoreboard. 90-yard touchdown reception. Donovan Yarbrough to Dawson Metcalf for the Bulldogs' 2nd touchdown of the night to pull within 8 as they went with the little 2-point try.
The swinging gate, and they tried to run it, and then when they couldn't run it, they tried to throw it. None of it worked.
I didn't like that at all. Here's a return. As soon as the Tiger picks it up, he does at the 23. Trying to near side now. Now cuts it at the 25 and down at the 25. Not much return there. I believe that is 23, Bab. Excuse me, that's number 20 on the return. That, of course, Jacob Johnson, excuse me. Kevin McGuire CPA scoring summary for the Hooker Bulldogs. 3 plays, 81 yards. 90-yard touchdown pass, Yarbrough to Metcalf. That's your Kevin McGuire CPA scoring summary. Let us tackle your taxes.
Well, you had the turnover. You had just gotten through scoring. You'd taken a 2-score lead. You got the ball on the 35-yard line of Hooker, and you could not score. And then Hooker turns around on a big 3rd down play, brings it back within 1, so game on.
2 halfbacks for the Tigers. Leading the way for Dylan Emery here on this 1st down and 10 play from the 26-yard line across the 30. Carrying a couple of Bulldogs.
Oh.
They finally, again, that's going to be a late hit right in the Crescent sideline. It happened at the 34, so tack on 15 more right there, and the Tigers will be near midfield.
Huge play, and like we've said all night, Hooker was able to make that last possession about who has the better athlete on any one given play. Crescent, like they did on this last play and the first possession of the second half and the first possession of the game, needs to make it about who has the best offensive and defensive lines. So it's a battle of who can impose their wills the most. Can Crescent make it a game about the trenches? Can Hooker make it a game about Dawson Metcalf and the skill that they have?
So the penalty was at the 34. 15 yards will put it at the 49-yard line. 4 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers with an 8-point lead, 21-13. And Bulldog fans are hoping that 2-point swinging gate doesn't come back to hurt them a little bit.
Look at all the guys in the box. 10 guys in the box. I don't think I've ever seen 10 guys in the box. Have you?
Yeah, earlier by Hooker.
Yeah.
Emery on the carry into
Musel.
That's Musel into the Bulldog territory as he picks up 3 yards from the 49 to the 48. Jacob Musel, a defensive touchdown early in this one.
It's just hard to, no matter how many blockers you have in there, when the other team puts 10 guys, I mean 10 guys in the box. I'm not exaggerating. When they do that, there's nowhere to run the ball to. It makes it very difficult, so it's almost incredible that Musel was able to get 3 yards on it.
Tigers just 155 yards of offense tonight. Here comes our 43rd offensive snap. It goes to Buzz. Gets across the 45 to the 40. There is a flag thrown as Buzz made them cut. That's when the hold came in. Thrown by the line judge, and that appeared to be a good hold, or a good call there by the line judge.
And the problem with that flag is it's not down there where the play ended.
Yeah.
It's all the way back here at the 47. So that's going to back it up and make it 2nd and 17. Wow, huge penalty. And, you ask, well, if the other team puts 10 guys in the box, well, then what do? You run the ball outside, right? And that's exactly what Crescent did with Dylan Emery and Buzz Emery and had a big gain, but only to come back because of a holding penalty.
2nd down and 16 for Crescent. Crescent throwing the football has not been very good tonight. Just 5 of 15 for 58 yards. Tigers have added 97 rushing yards. 2nd down and 16. Handoff to Musel. Spins across off the 45 to midfield and back into Bulldog territory at the 48-yard line. And here comes a late flag, maybe another late hit on the Bulldogs. We'll have to see what this one is.
I don't think there's going to be any doubt about it. This is going to be a 15-yard penalty.
1st down.
Yeah, this is going to move the ball down to, well, it's on the 48 here, so the 33-yard line of Hooker, and it's going to give Crescent a 1st down and let them out the gate. Wow, that is a huge play.
Hooker now 7 penalties for 63 yards.
Yes, sir. And there it is. That is huge. Absolutely huge. Penalties and turnovers. When you have evenly matched teams, that's usually the difference. Phil, you say it every week, penalties and turnovers.
Well, it's because it's true, right, Case? I'm just telling you right now, these are the kind of things that cost you ball games.
Well, you let Crescent out the gate. If you're Hooker, you had them way behind the chain, 2nd and 17. Down 7. Well, down 8. That was huge.
1st down and 10. Handoff Musel.
Put the ball away.
A couple of flags, and this one's going to go backwards. And on this drive here, guys, you're talking about penalties. Hooker, on this possession alone here by Crescent, has 2 personal foul or 2 15-yard penalties.
One on Buzz Emery and another one on one of the linemen for Crescent. And remember, Crescent had a huge holding penalty after a big Buzz Emery run. And it looks like it's going to happen again. So Crescent's already been able to overcome a second down and 17. This time it looks like they're going to have to overcome about a first down and 17 or 18.
It's going to be a chop block.
Oh, on the defense. Wow. Holding on the offense, offset. That is I will promise you, the Crescent coaches will take that for the simple fact that when that flag was thrown, it certainly looked like it was going to be a holding penalty and a first down and 17 or 18 yards. Instead, you do the play over, you back it up and make it first down and 10 again. They got to back this ball up. Nope, that's right there. Yeah, so it's first down and 10.
A little sloppy here on this possession.
Yeah, boy, how good is this officiating?
Oh, man. They've been big time tonight.
They are big time, aren't they?
First down and 10. Ball spotted at the 33-yard line on the near hash mark. Bowers takes the snap, comes to the near side, caught by Lovett as he goes across the 30, across the 25. They're trying to strip it, can't take it away from number 4 as he gets to the 23-yard line, close to a first down marker. I think they're putting him down at the, they're going to put him down at the 24, so 1 yard shy of the first down, 9-yard pickup.
Well, you had a tight end, and then you had 2 fullbacks and a tailback. That's 4 guys. You only get 5 that can line up behind the line of scrimmage. So that only leaves you 1 wide receiver. That's Carson Heskett. You see it again in this formation. Look at that off coverage. They could turn around and throw it to him all night.
Second down and 1. Bowers runs for the first down and has it as he gets across the 20-yard line and down at the 16-yard line. And Tigers moving the football and taking time off the clock as well.
Coach Fisher did this last week. He put the single receiver to his sideline, so then he had a visual of how that corner was playing his receiver, and if it was off coverage, last week a lot of times it was Tristan Roll, he just turned around and tossed it out to him and took the easy 7 or 8 yards. So again, putting that single receiver, this time Josiah Lovett, to his sideline, Coach Fisher is, in that man coverage, then just kind of scoping how that corner's playing. And it's off here.
124, 123 to play in the third quarter. Tigers trying to add to an 8-point lead. First down and 10 from the 16-yard line. 2 halfbacks lead the way for the running game here to the 10. That's Buzz to the 5. Reaches for the pylon. Did he get in? Did not. He's down at the 1-yard line, but a big run by Buzz Emery. First and goal, Tigers.
We talked last week when OCA had pulled within 1 score in the second half, when Crescent went on that 8-minute drive, how if you're going to win a championship, there are certain drives in a season to where you just have to take the football and just how big of an old boy are you and just run it right down their throat and take it over, and that's what this possession has been. Yes, sir.
Tigers into the end zone. Dylan Emery with the touchdown. Tigers up 27-13, PAT upcoming.
That was a drive for champions. Your back was against the wall. You had lost momentum. You talk about the first drive of the second half, and now this drive, the first drive of the game. Those are the type of drives that lead you to championships, and Crescent's on their way.
Extra point upcoming for Tristan Rolls. Tristan's had a great season as the extra point is good. Tigers 28, Bulldogs 13, 67 seconds left in the third quarter. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire, CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by Advanced Medical Equipment, professional and caring service. Horn Furniture, custom farm-style furniture. If you can dream it, we can build it. Propane Sales, over 50 years strong. The First Baptist Church, shining the light of Jesus on Crescent for more than 100 years. Gage's Steakhouse, Guthrie's best kept secret. Ross Nealis Services, LLC. Hot Shot Trucking, DC-90 Oilfield Services, Contract Pumping and Production Services, Abernathy Aaron Funeral Home, locally owned and operated. Small Town Spice Pepper Butter, homemade and hometown strong.
Tigers back on the scoreboard. Now lead at 28-13. That was a big touchdown, Case.
Huge touchdown. That's 3 possessions now where Crescent has gone with the running game and went and scored when they absolutely needed to regain momentum in the game. To start the game was one of them, to start the second half, and now this latest one.
There's another sky kick, and the Tigers cash in. They cannot diving catch. Scary moment there for Bulldog fans, but they do corral it at the 42-yard line.
I know that you got the turnover on the sky kick earlier, Phil, but do you like that sky kick where if you don't recover it, you're giving the other team the ball on the 42?
I only like it when you recover it. I mean, the rest of the time, it's just, oh boy, his shoulder's out again. 23. God, he just put it back in right in front of me. I'm going to need a second, boys.
Bailey Babb leads the team in dislocated shoulders.
Yeah, that's whew.
First down and 10. Pass out far side. That's Metcalf, kind of behind the line of scrimmage, advances to the 49-yard line. 6-yard pickup.
And I talked the entire first half. I was surprised that they had not used Metcalf more than they had. You know, that they put Carter Neville, number 7, and then Metcalf to the same side of the field. And usually Neville's the quick and bubble guy, and then Metcalf is the deep pass guy like we saw in the last possession. But, you know, now that, you know, your season's up against the wall, so what do? You go to your best player, Metcalf, and he scored for him last possession and got this one. There's the quick and go.
Yarbrough downfield, and it's caught at the 25. He's going to go to the house. 10-5, touchdown. Great catch.
Yep, Carter Neville. And we talked about that in the first half, that package. They run it. They run that quick, and then they get you to bite up on that quick and the quick and go. And I don't know if you remember, but if you do remember, I talked about in the first half with Josiah Levitt and the corners for Crescent, you cannot have your eyes in the backfield, because if you do, that's the kind of stuff they'll do. They'll do the quick and then the quick and go, and if your eyes are in the backfield, you're not going to see the and go part of it, and it's going to be golden goalpost.
Big play by Bulldogs. Now remember, they missed a 2-point attempt earlier, so now they got to try to catch up again here.
Yep.
Down 9. Try to pull it back within a full touchdown. Snap. Yarbrough looks. Middle of the field. It's knocked down.
Hunter Bowers.
So it remains a 2-score lead for the Tigers. 28-19 your new score. 19 seconds to play in the third quarter. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oilfield Services. Tiger Proud. Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing. Interior and exterior care for your vehicle. Okie Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service. Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers. Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop. Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966. Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs. Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
Crescent Tigers trying to get to the Class A state championship game next week. Here's a little onside kick. Ball's loose. And the Tigers still loose. I thought the Tigers were going to get it for a second. Hooker says they have it.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I think Crescent did get it, but nobody knows.
Nobody knows still.
Oh, no.
Bulldogs have it.
Gosh.
Bulldogs have it inside the 40-yard line.
Still don't know. We still don't know.
Coach Fisher says it should be our ball.
Yep, it's Crescent ball. Yes, sir. There you go. How about that? Wow. Woo. Hey, Phil, can I get a woo out of that one?
Woo! Well, we won't be sending that one to the OAB.
Oh, and again.
Back and forth between both teams, both coaches, and both stands.
Nicely done, partner. Nicely done.
So, with all that, I think the officials are done talking. It will indeed be Crescent football. You just want to hold sure.
I did say nobody knew, right?
Yeah.
I meant it.
And
Here
now,
we go.
And now the Crescent fans are up on their feet in the stands. 28-19 is your lead for the Tigers. 19 seconds, could be the final play of the quarter. Little shovel pass to Buzz, trying to stiff arm opponent down at the 40, a 1-yard pickup. And that more than likely will be the final play of the third quarter. Crescent Tigers, 12 minutes away. Just 12 minutes away. Can they hold on and advance to the state championship game? We'll take a timeout and come back and find out. 28-19 third quarter score. Back after this. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by the Christensen Media Group, smart, efficient marketing. The Crescent Co-op, serving our community since 1949. Bostic Services Corporation, an equal opportunity employer. Boutique Therapy, rehabbing your wardrobe. CE&L Services, your Oklahoma transport company. Emmy Ironworks, custom work made just for you. Coffee Barn, every flavor combo with the perfect blend. Don's Drugstore, serving Crescent for over 40 years. RDT Trucking, go Tigers!
Crescent Tigers leading the Hooker Bulldogs 28-19 as we get set for fourth quarter action. Alongside Cal Evans, Craig Fleck, Phil Nichols, Casey Porter, I am Chris Evans. So glad to be spending a Friday night with you, trying to get the Tigers into the state championship game for the 5th time in school history. Guy got the one state championship back in 1990, back when Coach J.L. Fisher had the pads and helmets on. Now on the sideline, trying to get the Tigers into the championship game.
He wouldn't admit it. Bill can probably see it. I'll promise you, going into this fourth quarter, Coach Fisher's nervous. I will promise you, the nerves are through the roof for everybody on that sideline.
Well, Phil, you think he's more nervous than you?
Well, I can tell you he's as nervous as
Easy.
The name, yeah, he's nervous.
Second down and 9, pass near side, caught by Lovett at the 47, trying to get to the 48, pushed backwards, and the Tigers look like they're going to be at least 1 yard short of that first down, and indeed they will be 1 full yard short. So an 8-yard pickup brings down 3rd down and 1. Big play here because obviously you want the first down, but you also want another minute 20 off the game clock.
Absolutely, and this has been just a simple outside zone play and or just something real quick. No misdirection to it. Just 2 lead blockers hand it off, let Dylan Emery just try to lean forward for 1. That's what Crescent's done all night in this situation.
2 halfbacks in front on the left side. They run it up the middle. First down into Bulldog territory. Trying to break a tackle as he goes across the 45 and down at the 43-yard line. But Hooker took it away. Was he down?
Was not.
Oh, Bulldog football.
This game has had every type of twist and turn you could possibly imagine. This game's been amazing.
Back and forth. Luckily, in that back and forth scenario, Crescent's had the lead the entire night.
They have. And they have every starter they have out now. Hunter Bowers is out there. This is it. 11-11 to go to try to play in the state finals.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 44 after the turnover. 1 tackle missed, 2 tackles missed to the 45, and tackled at the 49-yard line. Pickup of about 5 yards. By the way, in Class A football in the other semifinal, Afton and Thomas Fay Custer. Afton big, 44-7. So looks like Afton's on their way to the state championship game next week. If the Tigers can hold on, we do believe that game very well could be in the Tulsa area.
The temptation after a turnover is to get overly aggressive on defense. If you do, they will make you pay.
2nd down and 5. The 2 receivers, the 2 receivers ran into each other, and Yarbrough couldn't throw it, and it made enough time for Caven Green to come down with the sack.
And if you notice, this time that Neville was not on the same side as Dawson Metcalf like they've been doing all night. Instead, they put number 2, Cade Fisher, still there on the same side with Neville. Those two haven't played together on that side of the field all night, and so they were not in communication with each other because they haven't played together there all night, and because of that, they ran into each other. Because they ran into each other, Crescent was able to get a huge sack. Now, Crescent's been able to get Hooker into 3rd and long. They've let him off the hook now 4 times.
Caven Green with the sack. Now it's 3rd down and 12. And it's intercepted at the 45, at the 40, near side. It's intercepted by Lovett, and he's tackled at the 25-yard line. There is a flag down thrown by the umpire. I think this might be a hold against the Bulldogs. If it is, it remains Tiger football, but we're going to have to wait for the penalty.
I was worried it might be a late hit when the flag came out late, but I do not think, looking at the mannerisms, it's going to be. I think this is going to be Crescent ball. I think this is going to be Crescent ball. It certainly is. Look at there.
Chop block, Bulldogs decline, Tiger football.
How about that? Another twist and turn in this classic of the game. Boy, and you know, when you're in the scoring position earlier in the first half, you release Carson Heskett straight down the field and then threw that waggle on the flats to Musil, and he was wide open. You've struggled to run the ball in the last possession or two. You wonder if you go back to that bag of tricks.
Boy, a touchdown here puts a lot of pressure on the Bulldogs.
Tight end to the right, Carson Heskett.
1st and 10 from the 25. Bowers lead play, flag thrown by the line judge. And it will be a 3-yard pickup, but I think this one might be going back 5 yards, and indeed it is.
Boy, penalties, turnovers have been huge. Penalties and turnovers have been absolutely huge in this game when Dylan Emery is gassed.
He'll come off the sideline for a play here.
He is absolutely gassed.
Jacob Musil will come in. That's a nice little relief package there. When you bring Buzz off and you have someone like Musil who's come in, done a good job. Crescent fans making noise as you hear.
They need to quiet down a little bit. Their team's on offense. Let the offense make the adjustments, side adjustments they need if they have to. Tight end and fullbacks are both to the right here.
Play clock down to 13 seconds. Bowers looks over the 10-man box again. Play clock down to 8. Bowers taking his time. Game clock 9:17. Takes the snap with 4 on the play clock. Musil on the right side, trying to bounce it out to the 25, does, and gets up an extra yard to the 24-yard line. So gets those penalty yards back plus 1 more yard. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
They don't call him Mr. Fourth Quarter for nothing. When you're talking about Mr. Big number 34, Jacob Musil, the 4th quarter is his quarter to shine at running back. And, you know, whenever I mentioned you had the tight end and both fullbacks to the right, you got the big fullback and running back and Jacob Musil behind that. You just get manly. You put as many people as you can over there. You get your biggest back in there. And you just say, how big of an old boy are you? You give it to Musil made out of barbed wire and see what you got.
Averages 6 yards a touch, 5 for 30. Gets a touch here as he goes up to the 20-yard line, forward to the 19-yard line. So another 5-yard pickup as Dylan Emery will check into the Tiger offense. 8:17, 8:16. And yes, points are important here on this drive, but time off the clock is valuable.
No doubt. And Phil, do you remember in the first half whenever I was mentioning how Musil and Emery need to put the ball away, and they paid for it last possession, and again, got to take care of the ball here, don't you?
Well, Coach Booth on the sideline in between that last series, and that's exactly what he's telling them, talking about protection.
3rd down 4 from the 19-yard line. 2 halfbacks with Dylan Emery at running back. They'll try Dylan on the right side. Big hole on that right side as he goes across the 15 for a 1st down and finally hold down at the 10-yard line. Tough run of 9 yards for Dylan Emery. It's 1st and goal, Tigers.
And once he got the rumbling and stumbling and bumbling, there was no way that Hooker was going to be able to stop him before he got the 1st down. And it was just, like I said, I mean, line up with a tight end, 2 fullbacks, all the same side of the field. How big of an old boy are you? How much hair do you got on your chest? And this is where the toughest group of unit wins, and Crescent's been the toughest unit.
First and goal, ball at the 10-yard line. 10-man box
set.
again. Yeah, same set. Cheerleaders leading the chant, go. Go, Buzz, as he tries to stiff arm, and Buzz goes down at the 10. No pickup there. Might have actually lost a yard and brings up second down and goal.
Well, and really, a field goal doesn't do you a tremendous amount of good. That does take you from 9 to 12, but you wouldn't figure the Hooker would kick a field goal. If they're going for 2 in the third quarter on an extra point when they're only down 8, you wouldn't think they would want to rely on a field goal. So from 9 to 12 isn't a huge deal. So I think this is goal line or bust for this Tiger offense.
Yeah, you get a touchdown here. It would force Hooker to score twice and execute two-point tries.
Because they've gone for 2 twice and haven't gotten them.
And we're coming up on the midway point of the fourth quarter. Second and goal from the 11. Run play up the middle, not much there.
I don't think they're going to be able to run this in.
Got a yard, third down goal.
I mentioned a minute ago how in this set, in the first half, you released your tight end down the field. That took a safety and a linebacker with them. Then you ran your running back on just a little flat route and threw that waggle to him. That person was Busel, and he was wide open. I don't think you're going to be able to just turn around, hand this ball off, and make it into the end zone. And out of this set, where you only have one wide receiver, I think it's going to have to be some kind of misdirection, play action, somebody sneaking out of the backfield and or the tight end.
Third down and goal. Tigers trying to add to their lead. One receiver, everybody else in the box. Bowers wants to throw. Bowers does throw, end zone, diving attempt. And it's going to hit the ground, incomplete. Great effort there in the end zone, but pass falls incomplete. And now it's fourth down and goal.
Single coverage, say it every week, boundary fade. That is as in fashion now for all of these offenses as the counter play. And like I said, didn't think you're going to be able to turn around, just hand it off and score. So you try to just single up Josiah Lovett, throw him a jump ball, see if he could catch it. He almost did, but now you're in dire straits at fourth and goal from the 10.
There's that chant by the Crescent cheerleaders, go, go, go. Well, Tigers need to go for 10 yards here, or they're going to turn it over on downs. Boot action. Everybody's covered. Who's he going to throw it to? Everybody's covered. It's in the end zone. It's intercepted.
Might as well just let it go because you don't have anything to lose on fourth down.
Bowers intercepted for the second time tonight in the end zone.
That was the waggle play where, you know, I kind of thought they might run it on early downs when the defense was playing run instead of pass. But by the time you get to fourth and goal and the defense is playing pass, that misdirection, play action, bootleg, waggle isn't effective because everybody's dropping instead of playing run. And what you're banking on happening is fooling everybody playing run for that play to work. And obviously Hooker is too well schooled.
Bowers only entered the game with two interceptions, thrown 2 here tonight. But more importantly, as Crescent was able to take 4 minutes and 20 seconds off the game clock. But here come the Bulldogs quickly across the 35 to the 40, and down at the 42 is Dawson Metcalf. So you don't put any points off, but you do take 4 minutes off the scoreboard.
You've got to double cover Metcalf. You cannot leave. As good of a player as Josiah Lovett is, it's not fair to him to force him to have to cover a Division I type athlete. His brother is at OSU, Clint Metcalf. He's that type of athlete, to force him to cover him one-on-one here in the last of this game.
22-yard pickup, screen pass behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss on the play, but there is a flag down. And I would certainly think if this is against the Bulldogs, you would consider declining this, maybe.
The problem is, I think you take it. You need the yardage.
Make it a second down?
Yeah, I think you take the yardage.
Or excuse me, second down.
I mean, I think it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. But the one thing you can't do is allow Dawson Metcalf to win this game, right? You got to do whatever you have to do defensively to make sure that he's not. Now, even if you don't win and they score anyways, you got to do anything and everything you can to take option number 1 away. And is anybody in disagreement that option number 1 right now for Hooker is Metcalf? Anybody in disagreement with that?
No, he's option 1, 2, and 3.
So So the penalty indeed against the Bulldogs, and Tigers do accept that as it goes back to the 32-yard line. So 2nd down and 20. Bulldogs need the Crescent Tiger, or excuse me, 1st down and 20. The Bulldogs need the 48 of the Tigers.
Here's that diamond. They've run the quick, and now the quick and go. Here it is.
Looking for Metcalf. It's caught at midfield, close to a 1st down. It'll depend on the spot. And they will give him the 1st down spot at the 48-yard line. Metcalf again.
Yep, the quick out of that diamond set, then you know that's coming. You're going to fake the quick, then the quick and go. And if Crescent does not bracket number 11, then he's going to run right down the field because, and here we go, we got to know, it's Bailey Babb now and Josiah Lovett. I think both are going to bracket and double cover Dawson Metcalf.
Cade Harbor comes off and enter an extra DB and Babb, and Crescent takes a timeout to talk about that strategy. We'll take a timeout with them. 4:42 to play in the ball game. Crescent 28, Hooker 19. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, as mobile as you are. Massage by Bev, a tranquil experience through caring hands. Book your appointment today. El Palmo Restaurant, Logan County's best Mexican. Commercial construction, handling your underground utility needs since 1999. Impressed & Company, the place to get all your Crescent Tiger gear. Crow Creek Market, Crescent's best soup, sandwiches, and burgers. The Crescent Tag Agency, serving Crescent since 1974. Eagle Eye Electric, serving Crescent and surrounding areas for all your electrical needs. Myers Farm Boar Goats, proudly supporting Crescent football. Go Tigers!
1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs from the Crescent Tiger 48-yard line. Yobro goes downfield after avoiding the sack. It's caught at the 20, down at the 15, cutting it at the 13 to the 10. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs, Carter Neville, junior wide receiver.
Yeah, no, that's the 1-2 combo. Dawson Metcalf, Carter Neville. And, you know, you have that under screen out of the triangle set, and Bailey Babb chases that under. That leaves man coverage on the outside with Josiah Lovett and Carson Neville. And the next thing you know, Carter Neville, and the next thing you know, it's golden goalpost.
And now they'll go for the extra point.
Weird strategy. Nope.
Oh, that's
there
why.
You go. Yeah, well,
okay.
There you go.
Now we know. Yep. Now we know. Extra point's no good. Bulldogs within 3, 28-25, 4.5 left. Can the Tigers hold on and punch their ticket to the state championship? Come back, find out. This is Crescent Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oilfield Services. Tiger Proud. Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing. Interior and exterior care for your vehicle. Oki Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service. Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers. Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop. Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966. Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs. Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
Well, this one's not over by any means, Casey.
No, and if it weren't for 3 missed extra points in the second half, the game would be tied, right? That's the difference in the game.
That is the difference. Appreciate Colby Williams and letting us know on our YouTube chat. Apton now leads Thomas Fay Custer 52-7. Onside kick. It's recovered by the Tigers at the 44-yard line.
Bill, you mentioned last possession, at least I did, and you confirmed, flag down, that there were a lot of nerves on the sideline, and if there were a lot of nerves last possession, I've got to think it's on steroids now.
Yeah, and I mean, some of that you just saw, really silly penalty there. Recover the onside, and out of nowhere, a kid comes up and just drills a kid from Hooker. So it's going to be backed up 15 yards.
Field position you cannot afford to lose. 4.5 to go.
Personal foul, Tigers, 15 yards, as Phil alluded to.
Now keep in mind, remember, you used the timeout on a punt. So you only have one timeout. You don't have your full complement, whereas Hooker does. That could be a huge factor coming down the stretch.
Hooker 3 timeouts, Crescent 1 timeout. The penalty will back it to the 30-yard line. And so now this is where you lean on Dylan Emery and Jacob Musil. Of course, Bowers is kind of limited with that ankle injury.
Yeah, he hadn't been able to run the counter play because it's forced him to have to cut the ball back. He's been able to run straight forward, but not sideways where he has to cut it.
Both set of fans on their feet here in Alva, trying to encourage their team. 1st and 10, Tigers from the 30. Handoff, right side, good yards on 1st down. Pick up a 4 real quickly. 48-yard touchdown pass from Donovan Yarbrough to Carter Neville. 3 plays, 80 yards, 56 seconds. That scoring summary brought to you by Kevin McGuire, CPA. Let us tackle your taxes.
Here's the game. If you go 1st, 2nd, and then 3rd down, then get the 1st down, you only need 2 first downs. Because you get the 1st down here, if you go 1st, 2nd, then 3rd, you get this thing to around 2.5, and then Hooker would use their 3 timeouts, and then if you got that 1st down, the game would be over. So it's down to getting 2 first downs.
Hooker does have 3 timeouts to work with. 2nd down and 6, right side, close to the 1st down after a 3-yard pickup to the 39. 3rd down and 1 upcoming. Hooker does not use any of their timeouts on this drive.
This is exactly perfect. Well, if you get it, it is. Because by going to 3rd down, you're chewing up that extra 40 seconds of game clock that is so valuable. And then if you get this 1st down, now Hooker has to use all 3 of their timeouts, and you're 1 first down away from making the state finals. Got to get this 1st down first, though.
3rd down and 1. 12 on the play clock. Bowers rubs his hands, taking his time here. Down to 7 seconds. Down to 5. Down to 3. Snap at 1. 3rd down and 1. Emery 1st down and more. On the far boundary into Tiger Bulldog territory. Goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. He does go out of bounds to stop the clock, but Tigers will take the 1st down, no doubt about that.
Yeah, and if again you go 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, if it takes you 3 downs to get a 1st down here, the game is over. If you can get the 1st down on 3rd down again, like you did on that last 3 sets of plays, Hooker's going to have to use all 3 timeouts, and you'll have a 1st down, and you will be able to get into victory formation. So you are 3 plays away from making the state championship game.
1st down and 10, left side, not much there, but does lean forward for no gain. 1 yard, 1 yard. And there's the first of 3 timeouts taken by Hooker.
Yep, and I think you got to throw the ball to get the 1st down here, and I think you got to throw the ball safe, and I've been calling for it this entire 2nd half, but I think it's got to be to Jacob Musil on that waggle play where you fake that outside zone to Dylan Emery like you did in the 1st half, and then you bootleg that thing back the other way, and you slip Musil out into the flats, and you throw it to him on a safe pass and let him run and get the 1st down. Phil, what do you got for us, brother?
Well, you're down there on the sideline. You talk about nerves, but I tell you what, you're really seeing some senior leadership come to the forefront on this Crescent team. You got Musil, you got Emery, you got the big linemen in there. I mean, they're talking, they're calming each other down, they're doing the right thing. 1 second.
Head referee Danny Gacious. Phil, sorry I muted you there. Go ahead.
We need to get to the clock and tell them to put 250 on the clock from the referee. 250.
The good thing about this press box is there are windows all the way to our right and all the way to our left. Actually, we can open the window if we wanted to.
Gacious knew who his go-to guy was, too.
There you go, baby.
Resuming action here. 2nd down and 10. Stack box again. Diamond formation. Handoff up the middle, not much. Trying to bounce it out and not going to be able to get there. It's going to be a loss on the play back to the 49-yard line. And Hooker will spin a timeout. They have one left. And when we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 10.
That's why I kind of felt like you need to throw the ball there because, I mean, I know you're making them use all 3 of their timeouts, but the big playability they've shown, I'm not sure that them not having timeouts is as big of a deal as, obviously, if you get the whole game is getting this 1st down. So whatever you have in your playbook, even if it stops the clock, you have to get this 1st down now, especially because you've already made them use 2 timeouts. So getting the 1st down with whatever type of play you have to run is way more important than them having to use their timeouts at this point.
3rd down and 10, what do you do here, Case?
Well, I've been calling for that waggle play. They tried to throw it on 3rd and long last time. I think, you know, you've singled up Josiah Lovett on the corner out of that diamond formation, and you've just tried to lob it up to him. Those have been the 2 things you've thrown tonight.
And the Bulldogs are going to sell out on the run here.
If you had a flare where you could flare out your back at Emery and force that linebacker to cover him and then run a draw play with Hunter Bowers, he would run for days.
4 receivers, 3 to the far side. 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers. 2:38 left in the game.
Flare out Emery left and draw it with your quarterback.
Bowers in the gun, will throw for it. Has time, still has time. Throws it downfield, and it's incomplete at the 15-yard line. Clock stopped at 2:31, and now the Tigers will have to punt this one away, and the Tiger defense is going to have to hold the Bulldogs here late in the 4th.
And I assure you, there is nobody in Crescent Black that is comfortable right now. With Dawson Metcalf and Carter Neville,
It'll be 4th down and 11.
Yarborough on the other side. First thing you got to make sure of is that Metcalf doesn't take this punt back to the house. He took a punt to the house last week. He's fully capable of it.
Bowers punt formation. He's been back there quite a bit tonight. It's a good snap, and it's a good line drive punt. Will it bounce at the 15? It will go out of bounds in front of the pylon at the 1-yard line. What a punt by Hunter Bowers. We brag on his running ability. We brag on his passing ability. But late in the semifinal game, it's the punt that backs Hooker to their 1-yard line.
Just like you said on the way down, it's all going to come down to Hunter Bowers and the way that he's going to be able to pin him inside the 1-yard line. Right, Phil?
No doubt, brother. That was an unbelievable punt right there. I mean, you talk about a great defensive play. That's why punting's is an extra player on defense, right, Case?
No doubt about it. And, boy, that's a great deal that they have to go 99 yards. But they've shown with the big playability with 7 and 11, they're capable of doing it.
Well, here we go. Bulldogs got to go 99 now. Be careful.
Yeah.
They've gone 91 already.
Oh, yeah.
They've gone 81 already.
And they only have 1 timeout. It's a big duty, a big chore ahead of them, but they can do it. Here's that diamond where they run the quick and go.
Got to avoid the sack in the end zone. And he just does that, does Yarborough. Tigers brought the pressure.
Here's the problem with that diamond.
Portwood there.
The number 1 play out of it's that quick, but being in the end zone, that means that guy that's dotting that, running the quick, is about 5 yards inside the end zone. So you know they're not going to run that. So then you have to cover the quick and go. That's a dead giveaway for the defense.
2nd down and 10 from the 1.
Do not let 11 by you. Keep him in front of you, and once he catches it, tackle. Tackle. 7 and 11 are not on the same side this time.
28-25. Here we go. 2nd down and 10 from the 1. Passes intercepted at the 10. Into the end zone. Ball game. Make your reservations for the Class A State Championship Crescent Tigers.
How about that? Wow. 2 pick sixes. To the house. To the championship. Tigers.
Jacob Johnson with the pick 6 to send the Tigers into the state championship game.
Wow.
11-yard pick 6, the 2nd of the game for the Tiger defense.
It has been a long time since I've seen a game that's had this many twists and turns in it. Wow.
Tristan rolls on for the PAT. All Tiger fans standing.
Wow.
14 left in this one. Snap, hold, kick. It's good. 35-25 and Alva. Can you smell it? Tigers 2:14 away. This is Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, as mobile as you are. Massage by Bev, a tranquil experience through caring hands. Book your appointment today. El Palmo Restaurant, Logan County's best Mexican. Commercial construction, handling your underground utility needs since 1999. Impressed & Company, the place to get all your Crescent Tiger gear. Crow Creek Market, Crescent's best soup, sandwiches, and burgers. The Crescent Tag Agency, serving Crescent since 1974. Eagle Eye Electric, serving Crescent and surrounding areas for all your electrical needs. Myers Farm Boar Goats, proudly supporting Crescent football. Go Tigers!
Johnson, pick 6, 11 yards out, and it's a happy Kevin McGuire CPA scoring summary. Let him do your taxes. But not next week.
No.
Not next week. There's another football game we believe to be played.
Yep.
This kick was headed toward Phil Nichols.
Not pretty.
Well,
not nearly as pretty as that punt that landed inside the one just a minute ago off the right foot of Hunter Bowers. And who would have thought of all the things that he was going to do tonight to participate in this game to help his Tigers win? Probably the biggest thing he did was punt a ball late in the game inside the 1 yard line. Who would have thought that?
I didn't know Crescent could punt until tonight. Never had to see it before.
No, I don't think they've ever seen it either.
Still plenty of time if you're a Bulldog fan. Score quick, onside kick, and which they've already done once tonight.
Three-man front for Crescent, playing prevent defense here.
4 receivers passed on in the backfield. Going backwards now, coming forward, but just able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, no stupid penalties. You're playing a three-man front, which means you're dropping 8. You're keeping everything in front of you, and you're forcing Hooker to work themselves down the field, which means you don't want to give them free yardage with any kind of late hits, personal fouls, any kind of dumb penalties. Just make Hooker have to earn everything they get from here on out. 3 deep safeties for the Tigers.
Second down, 10. From the 44-yard line. Yarbrough fakes center field, caught at midfield. Down at the 49-yard line. Metcalf. Yarbrough slow to get up.
That's what you got to do to him. He's going to catch the ball. You can't stop him on that short cross. But what you got to do, what Crescent hasn't done on the couple of times he's went cross country tonight, is you got to tackle. And Tristan Roll did.
Third down, 3. Bulldogs need the 46 for the first down. 4 receiver set. Yarbrough caught at the 45 to midfield. First down. Going backwards now. Doesn't have it. Goes across the other side of the field. Well behind the first down marker still, and he's going to be driven out of bounds by Bowers before he gets the first down. So now it'll be a 4th down play, and that was 7 Novell. Probably should have cut that one up, got the first down, but retreated backwards and driven out of bounds, picked up 1 yard after all that. And so Bulldogs football season comes down to a 4th down and 2 play.
Just trying to make a big play, knowing that you have to score twice in the last minute and a half. Just trying to take something that was going to be a first down and make it bigger, knowing that you have to score fast. So you really can't argue with the decision Neville made to try to cut that thing back against the grain and make it big, but it certainly didn't work out.
So the Bulldogs obviously need this one, or their season comes to an end officially. 4th down, 2. They'll run with it up the middle. First down, 45 to the 40. Clock stops as he able to get down to the 36-yard line, pick up a 12.
Bowers just pushed him down as if it was like a tree that had been cut with a chainsaw and he just needed to push it over.
Hurry up to the line, Yarbrough. Fakes, now goes the other side, double coverage, and it's intercepted at the 5-yard line. Tristan Rose with the PAT, and the Tigers are headed to the Class A state championship game for the 5th time in school history in the next minute 8.
Just like we predicted Wednesday on the high school huddle that Jacob Johnson, Tristan Rolls were going to have 2 huge interceptions to ice it, and Hunter Bowers was going to punt one inside the 1, and that was going to be the difference, right? Just like everybody predicted.
Sound like a book you would write.
But, you know, whenever you on a championship run like hopefully Crescent is, those are the kind of unsung type things that happen to you.
Hooker does have 1 timeout if they want to use it. I'm sure they will. As the Tigers, we have movement. I don't think the play clock was put into motion yet, and the Bulldog hit a Tiger. No harm, no foul. Colby Williams, we appreciate the update. Afton wins 52-7. Quarterback Will Amos, we'll talk about him all week long, had almost 400 yards rushing tonight. And now there's a timeout taken by the Bulldogs after the snap there. We'll go ahead and keep it here. We don't miss any of the action here. I want to show some of our Crescent fans there, Kel. See the excitement here in the stands tonight by the Tiger faithful who made the 2-hour trip, hour and a half, hour 45, 2-hour trip. Highway 11 construction. I'm sure it was every bit of 2 hours.
2.5 for us because there's a restaurant in between where we started and where we finished that our sideline correspondent really enjoys frequenting.
Just about what we expected when the playoffs started. We said there was 3, 4, 5 teams that could win it all, but there are 2 that kind of stick out a little bit more. And we will definitely have that at Afton Crescent Class A championship ball game. We don't know what date, we don't know what time, we don't know what location. We'll probably know that by tomorrow, and we'll be sure to pass that information as it comes available.
Obviously, we're here covering the Crescent Tigers, but can I give a standing ovation to the other sideline? The Hooker Bulldogs tonight, my God.
Playing the first ever state semifinal game in school history.
You know, they got down 14-0 right off the bat, fought their way back. They had adversity all night long. They were playing from behind all night long and just kept fighting. I could not be more impressed with the way that the Hooker Bulldogs play football. They are fantastic. This is a hard-fought, incredible win for this Crescent Tiger team.
Yeah, never gave up.
Oh, man.
Never gave up. Bowers under center. He will run forward a little bit to get out of the shadow of his end zone, and finally down after the 10-yard line. They almost got a first down, and is that a flag thrown or?
Quarterback keeper by Byers. He is tackled by a tackle.
Just take a knee now.
Carries out to the first.
Got a penalty here.
Coach's favorite formation. You know what that is?
Victory.
The victory formation. I don't think we have a penalty. The clock's running.
Okay, good deal.
Let's put a couple of fullbacks back there in case you fumble it, and as soon as you take the snap, put your knee down. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house, and let's show up next weekend, probably in the Tulsa area, and win us a state title, huh?
Tigers need one more snap to make it official. Then the celebration will be on.
There it is. Ball game.
Final 7 seconds tick off here, and the Crescent Tigers will come to Alva and clinch a state championship berth with a 35-25 victory over the Hooker Bulldogs. Tigers remain undefeated.
Wow. What an incredible, incredible game. Incredible Crescent Tiger team. An incredible performance. What an incredible performance, like I said a minute ago, on the other side from this Hooker Bulldog team. Give them a standing ovation. When you throw it all in and you mix it up and it all comes out as a finished product, it's the Crescent Tigers headed to the state championship game next week. From 0-11 just 4 years ago to the state championship game in 2017. This is Tiger football.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oil Field Services. Tiger Proud. Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing. Interior and exterior care for your vehicle. Okie Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service. Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers. Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop. Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966. Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs. Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
Crescent Tigers advance to the Class A state championship game next week as they take down the Hooker Bulldogs tonight. Final score, 35-25. The Bulldogs scored a touchdown on a 48-yard touchdown pass with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the fourth quarter to pull within 3. 28-25, but a pick six by Johnson seals the deal. A couple of defensive touchdowns, couple touchdowns off of Hooker turnovers as well. And these games aren't going to be easy when you get to this level of game. Games are not going to be like they have been for the Tigers, and, and they certainly won't be next week either. But Tigers, we always ask, how will they play in a close game? They've been blowing everybody out. Well, we saw what they did tonight here in a close game.
And we said also that we think that they have the best defense. And I think that obviously showed tonight with 2 pick sixes, several 3-and-outs in big parts of the game. So, you know, it's not always the offense. You know, you only scored 35 points, and 14 of those were pick sixes. So you only scored 3 times on offense, which for this Crescent team is somewhat pedestrian. But to be a championship caliber team, like Crescent is, you have to be able to win in several different ways, and obviously Crescent was able to do that.
Crescent Tigers jumped out to a 14-0 lead.
We have a final from the Carl Albert game. Can I get to that here in a minute?
Go ahead.
35-23, Carl Albert wins that game.
5A state champions go to Carl Albert, first time to go undefeated. 14-0 to claim the state championship. Mentioned earlier, Crescent jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and at halftime had a 14-7 lead. So the Tigers outscore their opponent, or actually get outscored. Oh, let me see here, 21-18. Actually outscore Hooker in both halves to win it 35-25. We're getting Phil Nichols situated. He's going to have some post-game interviews down on the field. We're going to get that set up. We're going to have some scores from the state of Oklahoma, and we'll officially dive into the Legacy WAG post-game show. Tigers win, undefeated, headed to the state championship game next week. More after this. This is the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group post-game show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by the Christensen Media Group. Smart, efficient marketing. The Crescent Co-op, serving our community since 1949. Bostic Services Corporation, an equal opportunity employer. Boutique Therapy, rehabbing your wardrobe. CE&L Services, your Oklahoma transport company. Emmy Ironworks, custom work made just for you. Coffee Barn, every flavor combo with the perfect blend. Don's Drugstore, serving Crescent for over 40 years. RDT Trucking, go Tigers!
Legacy Wealth Advisory Group post-game show here in Alva, Oklahoma, on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, where the Crescent Tigers, for the 5th time, will be going to the state championship game. They've won one state title back in 1990 when Coach Fisher had the shoulder pads and the helmets on, and now as a coach will try to lead the Tigers to their 2nd title in school history next week, and they'll take on Afton.
Which is what everybody thought would happen. I think that's justice that the Class A state championship will go through one of those 2 teams, because I think it's proven throughout this season that they have been the 2 best teams all year.
Here in just a second, we're getting our players to be interviewed here in just a second, getting them mic'd up, getting the headsets on them as well. And
several of them.
Yeah.
The offensive line.
Yeah, it looks like the offensive line, and I think we're about ready for that. My cameraman went off, so I'll have to run the camera as well. So, all right. Let's go down to the field with Phil Nichols here in the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group post-game show.
Hey, guys, I'm down here with my favorite players on any football team, the Big Uglies, the offensive line, here with Cade Harbor. He's going to be the first one to talk. We're going to talk to a couple of offensive linemen. They'll get Mr. Johnson in here for his big-time play tonight. Cade, talk a little bit about this moment. You guys have played together your whole lives. You got all these emotional things going on. You have a tough ball game tonight. I mean, hats off to this Hooker team. Did a great job. But after all that's done, you guys are playing for the gold ball next week. What do you think about that?
Well, they've been saying that we could do this since we were in Pee Wee. I mean, we've just stuck together since then, and we came a long way.
Cade, Casey Porter up here in the booth, and want to congratulate you obviously on an awesome game tonight. But we talked all week that this game needed to come down to the trenches because we felt like your offensive line versus their defensive line was an advantage for Crescent.
Yeah, and I think it will be at any time in Class A.
And talk about what it's like to get to block for in front of a guy like Buzz Emery, Jacob Musil, Hunter Bowers, guys that make you look really good.
Man, it's awesome. If we do our job, we know they'll do theirs.
And it's got to be very fun. You know, Phil talked about it, you know, playing for each other. When you're playing for a greater cause other than yourself, especially with your community, everything, talk about how fun that is just to play for each other and your community and the support you're getting.
Man, it's great. We just love each other out here, and it just goes along when getting ready for stuff like this during practice, and it just comes together out here on Friday night.
This is a big-time atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Big-time atmosphere, and I know you'll never forget it. You got one more step next week. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys, we're going to get another guy on here. Just give me one quick second.
Phil Nichols.
All right, guys, I got number 61, Dawson Hornbeck, coming in here. I love these names. They got some great names here. Casey, you and I refer, when we describe the players for Crescent, we say they're made out of not wire but barbed wire.
That is
right?
correct. That is correct.
So we talk about these kids, extremely tough players. Talk about just the experience tonight, and most importantly, getting ready for next week to go win that gold ball.
We've had a great experience here, and we kind of came together as a team, and the offensive line just buckled down and got it done.
Casey Porter up here, Dawson, and kind of take us through the emotions. You're in the huddle, you know, Hooker had pulled within one score of you. You needed to churn out first downs. Talk about some of the dialogue and some of the emotions you had going down the stretch.
It's really tight, and you're kind of nervous, but you just got to come together and be a team.
Does it help you not be nervous or fight through the nerves knowing that you guys are playing together so well?
Yes, sir.
Just talk about what it's like, you know, just trying to fight through all those emotions, having to rely on each other.
You just got to keep a clear head and know your teammates have your back.
Tell me what you thought, you know, obviously as a defensive play when you saw Jacob intercept the ball and go for the pick six. Tell us about your emotions during that play.
Oh, I thought it was great. I'm real proud of him. That was kind of our ticket back into the game.
And great job tonight, Phil. I'm going to send it back down to you to finish this thing up.
All right, guys. We got one more lineman we're going to get in here. I know I'm running a lot of guys through, but all these guys can whip me. I'm scared of all of them. So as many of them want to talk, I'm going to let them talk. We got Caveman coming up here next, right?
The Caveman,
we got the Caveman coming in here next. And he just told me his head's too big for these headsets. So,
he's got a mohawk, doesn't he?
Well, like I said, don't make eye contact. He's a little scary. No. Caveman, you'll just talk about the experience with your teammates and, you know, what's the emotions going through you right now? You're going to go play for a gold ball next week, which is just a lifetime of achievement.
This is the best time of our lives. You know, Jacob Johnson over here getting that touchdown. I got so excited. I finally got back in the game, and I just noticed that it's all a team effort, and it's not just one person. It's not a couple people. It's the whole entire team.
And I'm so glad this is Casey Porter up here in the booth. Kevin, I'm so glad that you said that because Hunter Bowers gets all the credit, and he should. He's a great player. He's the quarterback. And Buzz Emery, the running back, gets all the credit. But, you know, you just went through and talked about all of the other guys, and without all the other guys, you don't win games like this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hunter is a great quarterback, probably the best quarterback Class A has ever seen. And we got a great running back also. But like I said before, it is all a team effort, and we wouldn't be able to do it without each and every one of us on this field.
And you guys have to go both ways, and you have great coaching. You have coaches who came through this system, won state titles, so they know what you're going through. Talk about how much of a help it is to you knowing that your coaches have been in your situation and they know the advice to give you.
It's great. Our coaches know what they're talking about if we can ever calm down and listen to them. They've been in football a lot longer than we have. We've been in about 9 years. They probably have 100 years combined experience. So we just need to listen to our coaches and understand that even though we might not think it's right, they're always right majority of the time. One more step to the gold ball, and obviously this needs to be the greatest week of practice you guys have ever had, huh? Yes, sir. We need to make everything perfect, just polish it up, and keep the excitement going. You know, practice gets old throughout the playoffs, but we got to do whatever we can to get ready for this next game. I know you have a whole community and a whole bunch of people out there that are extremely proud of you, caveman as you like to be called, so congratulations, one more to go. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, great job, caveman. We got our last interview. Where's Jacob? All right.
Jacob Johnson we're talking about here.
Jacob Johnson. Of course, we got Jacob Johnson coming here last. I've got another offensive lineman that he told me he didn't want to talk, but he's looking at me like he wants to. They're making him, so you guys are going to have to give me one more here after this. But Jacob Johnson, Jacob, big play night, all night for you. Of course, recover that kickoff early in the game. Key interception at the end to really lock the game down. Talk about the feelings of those plays, but also, most importantly, talk about your teammates, your community, and just everything that you're experiencing right now.
It's been big with what we've done. I just can't describe that play. I just don't know how. I just can't.
And obviously Yarborough and Metcalf and Neville and all those guys, they were really good. So the biggest part of that, and you can hear the emotions in your voice right now, and man, rightfully so, Jacob. You should be feeling exactly the way you feel right now. But they were a tough team to handle. You guys had to keep your cool, and you guys did a great job of staying calm all night long. So just talk about the emotions of just trying to stay cool all night.
You just got to keep sticking together, and we just did. And came out on top.
And that's a play that you'd seen all night, where they're trying to throw that little under screen and they overthrew it. Once you saw that the ball was overthrown, was it almost like it was too good to be true?
Yeah, pretty much.
And once you caught the ball and you saw a golden goalpost ahead, tell us what that felt like crossing the end zone.
It's the greatest moment of my life.
All right, Casey, Jacob, thank you so much. Congratulations on another great ball game. Guys, got our last one. Mr. Mai is going to join us here real quick. Number 52, the big had to be forced to do the interview, right? Was that Pops pushing you in here? Okay, well, you always listen to your dad. That's a good young man. So talk a little bit about just the experience of this week, son, and most importantly, next week, you guys, this is something I hope you guys appreciate this. For a guy that never won one of these and always wanted to, this is a big-time opportunity you guys have in front of you. Just talk to me a little bit about that.
Oh, it's amazing. We've been waiting for a long time for this, and we've been preparing for this moment for a very long time. And it's our time to win it.
You talk about Casey Porter up here in the booth. You talk about preparing for it. Talk about, what the practices have been like leading up to this environment. You've had easy games for the most part throughout the year, but knowing now down the stretch the game's getting tougher, talk about the intensity you guys have brought to practice throughout the weeks.
Well, we're intense through practice, but we're just trying to keep everybody healthy and trying to get everybody prepared for next week. Just going against our scout. Our scout's been amazing to us. They've been going hard in practice against us, giving us good looks.
One thing that's very impressive to me is the fact that, this is a team we talk about, they play together so well. And if you talk about one unit on the team that has to play together as one unit, all for each other, it is the offensive line. Talk about your brothers on the offensive line, how well you guys communicate, and why that makes you guys so good.
Oh, well, we just got to communicate with each other to keep everybody on the same page so we can do our job the right way. I mean, as Coach says, so goes the offensive line, so goes Crescent Tigers.
And obviously, as much as you guys ran the football, we knew this game was going to come down to the trenches, and no doubt about it, would you agree that you guys won the game in the trenches tonight?
I believe so.
And congratulations, and that usually is the reason why teams win, winning the game in the trenches. Congratulations on a great game, and hope that you have, and I know you will, but have the best practice week of obviously your career. Congratulations again.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I have no idea why that young man didn't want to do an interview. That's one of the best interviews we've had all year. Great job, son.
No
hey
doubt
guys,
about it.
We're going to grab Coach Fisher here in a second, but I want to tell you, I got a little caught up in the emotion. I'm buying dinner for the offensive line this
good
week.
grief.
I know. What happened? Let me find Coach Fisher real quick.
All right, we appreciate.
We have to approve it with Chris where you're going to buy it at first.
I don't know. He bought us steaks earlier on the thing that he lost, so that's okay. But let's go ahead and take a timeout here on the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group postgame show. When we come back, we'll have the head coach of the Crescent Tigers, J.L. Fisher, the leader of this ball club, get his thoughts after this timeout. This is the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group postgame show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Kevin McGuire, CPA, let us tackle your taxes. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, as mobile as you are. Massage by Bev, a tranquil experience through caring hands. Book your appointment today. El Palmo Restaurant, Logan County's best Mexican. Commercial construction, handling your underground utility needs since 1999. Impressed & Company, the place to get all your Crescent Tiger gear. Crow Creek Market, Crescent's best soup, sandwiches, and burgers. The Crescent Tag Agency, serving Crescent since 1974. Eagle Eye Electric, serving Crescent and surrounding areas for all your electrical needs. Myers Farm Boar Goats, proudly supporting Crescent football. Go Tigers!
Welcome back to Legacy Wealth Advisory Group postgame show here in Alva, Oklahoma, on campus, Northwestern Oklahoma State University, as the Crescent Tigers win it late in the fourth quarter, 35-25 over the Hooker Bulldogs. Bulldogs in their season with a 12-2 record, a first loss they've suffered since week 7 of the football season when they lost to Thomas Fay Custer. And speaking of Thomas Fay Custer, they go down big tonight to Afton, 52-7, to make it a Afton Crescent State Championship game next week. Again, date, time, location, not known yet, but we think we'll probably find out sometime tomorrow. If we were to guess, we're thinking somewhere in the Tulsa area. Afton is up in the Miami, northeastern Oklahoma, and you put Crescent in the middle part is Tulsa.
It smells Tulsa.
It smells Tulsa. Now, I'm rooting for Stillwater.
No doubt.
I'm rooting for Stillwater, press box purposes and driving and all that good stuff. But we will find out tomorrow more than likely. Crescent Tigers win it 35-25. We continue our on-field interviews with Phil Nichols in the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group post-game show.
Guys, I'm here with head football coach Fisher. Coach, come on now, state championship, right?
That's awesome. That's what our kids' goal was, at the beginning of the year. And, man, it's exciting to get there. But we had a nail-biter tonight. Had a really good Hooker football team. We knew we were going to get their best shot, and we did. We had our opportunity several times tonight down in the red zone. Couldn't cash in, but, we knew we were facing a good defense and a good offense, and we were just trying to keep it away, keep it out of their hands a little bit. And I'm just so proud of our kids, to make it to the state championship game is just a dream come true for them and for myself.
Coach, so many times whenever you get to this part of the season, all teams have 4 or 5 really, really good players. They tend to cancel each other out. And usually it's your next 4 or 5 guys that are in line that have to make unsung plays like they've been doing all year, but now they start getting noticed. And when you look at Jacob Johnson, he had the pick 6, and then all the interceptions you had some really unsung heroes tonight that came through for you.
We did, and I want to mention Jacob Johnson. That's a very important drive. We're up 3, and he makes a great break on the football. Of course, we get a little pressure on the quarterback finally. That's what was the problem we were having, was we couldn't get enough pressure on him. And we finally got some pressure on him, and we knew if we did, he would throw some bad passes. And, we took 2 back to the house on him tonight, and that was the difference in the ball game.
It's been your offense that everyone's been talking about, Coach. 69 points in the 3 postseason games so far, but the defense, the 2 turnovers led to points, and then late here in the fourth quarter, there were some big plays that Hooker was able to get, and that's no surprise. They're a big play team, but you always got to lean on your defense in these type of ball games.
You do, and you've heard it a million times that, offense is going to win games and defense is going to win championships, and our defense got us there tonight. We played good enough to make plays on the defensive side of the ball. A week ago we give up 41 to OCA is a very good offensive ball club, and everybody's wondering what's going on. And, we knew we still had a good defense, and we told our kids, hey, we're still capable of playing really well, and we needed them tonight.
Coach, and, you know, we talked about the offense and defense, but to win a championship, you have to have all three phases of the game. And one thing, as soon as you watch Dustin Metcalf play, the first thing you have to do is make sure he doesn't return either a punt and or a kickoff back to the house. So you had to play special teams. Not only did you do that, you did not allow him to really get loose on any kind of kick return. Thus, you controlled field position, but you had big punts too. So the special teams play you had tonight was huge, wasn't it?
Absolutely. You know, Hunter punted the ball really, really, really well. We worked it all week. We tried to coffin corner that thing and keep it away from 11, and I think he had 2 punts. Yep. We had a penalty on one that landed at the 1, and then the one down on the other end went out at the 1. And, you know, we worked it this week, and he took pride in it, and he just did a great job of kicking the football. We knew field position was going to be big. You know, at halftime, our kids were a little bit disappointed that we hadn't scored, 40 points. And I told them, I said, guys, that's not going to happen. That's not realistic. I said, but, we'll take it when it happens. But, we're playing better teams, and we're really playing a good defense tonight.
Coach, you have to punt the ball. You only have a 3-point lead. They've had several big plays in the second half. Take us to the emotions after you see the punt go inside the 1 that you were going through as Hooker got the ball that last possession.
You know, I thought that was the biggest play of the game at that point, and we knew at that point we were going to blitz our Mike Backer. We're going to try to get some pressure on him and make him maybe throw a bad pass. We knew he liked to throw it up in situations like that, and he almost threw one to Hunter Bowers to run it in, and then we ended up getting another one, and it was just a great football game. We had opportunities to score several times. We're just one step off of big plays on passes. We knew we could get behind them. We were just, a little bit long on our passes, but, our offensive line and our running game really came through strong.
Tigers win it 35-25. Talking with Crescent head football coach J.L. Fisher here in the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group post-game show, and obviously you got a long trip home, but Afton wins big tonight, 52-7. And your thoughts on that team? And when we started this Class A championship run, we thought there was 4 or 5 teams that could win it. But I think everybody that doesn't live in Crescent or Afton probably had that game circled as perhaps the 2 best teams. And I think that's what we have next week.
I think so. Afton, we've seen them on film. They got a great football team. They got a great quarterback, an Amos kid. And he's kind of like 11, a Metcalf kid tonight. They get him, but they put it in his hands every play. And he's a really scary guy, and you've got to figure out ways to contain him. So it'll be interesting to see the film and see what they did, and it'll be a great matchup for us, and we're just looking forward to the opportunity to go play for the gold ball.
Coach, one last thing, and I know that you can't get in this position without having first-class assistants. Just watching your sideline, the way it works, and all the way your assistants do their jobs, and they keep everybody calm. I want to make sure that you're able to recognize all the great work they do.
We do. David Walker's our defensive coordinator. He does a great job for us. John Lovett and Matt Fisher, my brother of mine, they come out and helped us this year. Coach Booth, is our athletic director, and he's been a head football coach at Crescent before, so he knows what it's like. Wayne Owens is our elementary principal, and he comes out. He's kind of like our director of operations, if you will. He's always giving us things we can look at. So we've just got we've got a great group of guys that want to come out and and they want what's best for the kids, and especially in games like tonight when it's real tight, and and you got tempers flaring, or you got things that aren't going your way. It's nice to have another coach that's been there and done that and say, Coach, I'm not going to change your mentality. We just got to get them calmed down and do our thing. So.
Your assistant coaches had one of the quotes of the year last year as we were trying to set up our film and got kicked out of the press box, and they said, well, I don't know why they'd want to set up their film. They're just going to be filming all of our touchdowns anyways. So the confidence that your kids play with obviously starts from the top. So congratulations, guys.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, one more thing up here. I saw some of the things on social media. I didn't know you had some dance moves, but Crescent, it was a lot of fun at Crescent High School today.
Yeah, they told me I'm going to wear that shirt. I don't know if the game's Friday or Saturday. I haven't looked yet, but they told me I got to wear that shirt this week, so I'll be wearing it.
I bet you will be. Coach, Phil, I'll let you wrap it up, but Coach, congratulations from atop the press box.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys, I'm just glad Coach Fisher didn't follow Coach Gundy's example and rip his shirt off today. We can't have that, Coach, can we?
No.
Guys, great job, Coach.
All right, Crescent head football coach J.L. Fisher. Again, he was a member of the 1990 state championship football team. Now trying to do it in 2017 as the head football coach of the Crescent Fighting Tigers. Final timeout when we come back. Final thoughts from the press box and final scores throughout the state of Oklahoma. State champions are crowned. Did Tulsa Union come back and win the 6A championship? We'll find out if they did. This is the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group postgame show.
Crescent Tiger Playoff Football 2017 is brought to you by Kevin McGuire CPA. Let us tackle your taxes. The Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisors. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the hardest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Pioneer, your TV, phone, and internet solution. Crescent Tiger Playoff Football is also brought to you by John Green Pumping and Oilfield Services. Tiger Proud. Wash 'em Up Auto Detailing. Interior and exterior care for your vehicle. Okie Cafe, where you will always get great food and friendly service. Hud Creek Farms, always supporting the Tigers. Red Rose Floral and Gifts, your hometown floral shop. Nelson's Barber Shop, Crescent supporter since 1966. Pinnacle Dental, let us tackle your dental needs. Jessica Stout Realtor, Oaks Real Estate Company, your hometown real estate agent. First Christian Church, living, loving, and serving God in the Crescent community and beyond for over 100 years. Go Tigers!
Welcome back for the final time here in Alva, Oklahoma. Northwestern Oklahoma State University. Beautiful sight for a Class A state semifinal. Even better when the Tigers win, and the Tigers do win it. Final score 35-25 over the Hooker Bulldogs. Hooker ends their season at 12-2. Tigers 14-0. They will take on Afton in the state championship game. Again, not sure the date, location, or time. It'll be announced sometime tomorrow. Of course, we'll pass that information along social media. Guthrie News page, Facebook will have it. Guthrie News page, Twitter feed. Of course, Crescent Public Schools, Coach Booth, Coach Fisher. You'll find it somehow. I promise you. If you want to know, you'll find out somehow tomorrow. Real quickly, some scores around the state of Oklahoma in the Class 6A state championship game tonight. Owasso takes down the Tulsa Union Redskins. Final score 21-14. Owasso led the entire way in that one. Carl Albert Titans go undefeated for the first time in school history to win a state championship. They defeat McGinnis for the second year in a row. Tonight's score 35-23. In the 4A state championship, Heritage Hall shuts out Ada 14-0. Class 3A semifinal action. Beggs defeats Sulphur 37-28. And John Marshall upsets Jones. Undefeated Jones now with the one loss. John Marshall 29, Jones 26. So you have a Beggs, John Marshall Class 3A state championship game next week. Class 2A football, they will play tomorrow. Class A, Afton wins 52-7. Tigers win 35-25. Class B, Laverne wins 66-28. Shattuck wins 48-16. So we have a Oklahoma Panhandle Class B final, Laverne and Shattuck. And in the Class C championship game tonight, Van Shea Ivins, Pond Creek Hunter team.
We'll be going back through there on the way home.
We will. They lose big, 56-8.
Really?
Tipton, Class C state champions.
Wow.
Those are the scores around the state of Oklahoma. Well, that will do it here. Our largest live broadcast we've ever had.
Awesome.
Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight's broadcast. Again, the largest one we've had as far as live viewers, and it'll only get more and more as we saw if this game will be replayed as soon as we sign off here tonight. Thank you to all the wonderful staff here at Northwestern Oklahoma State University. SID Jay did a great job of getting us set up here, and to his staff as well. Thank you for treating us so kind here in Alva, Oklahoma. Final score for the final time in Alva, Oklahoma. The Crescent Tigers advance to the state championship game for the 5th time in school history as they take down the Hooker Bulldogs. Final score 35-25. For my partners, Kel Evans on the cameras, Phil Nichols down on the sideline, Craig Fleck, producer, statistician. He kind of does it all up here. We appreciate him. Halftime correspondent, score update. He does it all. For my partner, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Evans. We'll talk to you next week at the Class A state championship game. Until then, have a great weekend.